Okay, one sec, guys. I just need to get my autism medication. That is my autism inducing medication. Okay. All right. Let's just at everybody in the old Discord. And now, yeah, I had to get my autism medication. It's very important, you see. Oh man, so nervous. You are not, Abby. You'll do fine. You'll shock us with how far right you are. It would be really nice to have a Canadian team win in American baseball. Really would be funny to see. I mean, that's happened before, actually, twice. I remember it. That's part of the reason why this is something that is kind of meaningful to me in a sort of nostalgic kind of way, you know? One autism, two autism. Okay. So today, two people from our Discord are going to be debating. Also, my team got knocked out by the Dodgers, so I am salty. Boo. That's unfortunate. That's always never fun. Okay. I'm assuming that his team is the Wisconsin, whatever, I don't know. His team's from Wisconsin, I'm assuming. I'm just waiting for these guys to show up. But while we wait, oh yes, the Milwaukee Brewers. They fell off last minute. Oh, that's unfortunate. Always unfortunate. Okay, let's turn on some lights here. Although it's not like my lighting was ever is ever, I mean, maybe one day my lighting will be good. Brewers? Girl, you did not just whatever the Brewers. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Molitor was at the game last night. You guys know way more about sports than I do. I like literally just got back into this at last minute, and like I did not follow sports and then like at all. I just remembered how cool it was, or like how much I wasn't like super into it when I was a kid, but like I would watch games with my mom and stuff. Um and oh, I remember I had a baseball glove too, and I could have swore that I had a Jays t-shirt or something. When when I was very very young, I think it was I think it was sometime after 92 or what have you. I remember I feel like I'll always remember this. I went to the or my I don't even know if my brother must have been like really really young. He might have not even been born yet. Um my my parents went to a baseball game, and so they went to Toronto to what it's called the Rogers Center now, but back then it was called the Sky Dome, and that's what it'll always be to me in my head. Um and I remember we had a babysitter stay over because I couldn't, obviously I couldn't be alone by myself because I was a little kid. And that was when I watched the film The Empire Strikes Back for the very first time, which I had never seen before. And prior to that, I'd only ever seen the first one, and I didn't even know that there were any sequels. And I think that's probably why the original Star Wars trilogy is meaningful to me. Yes, I remember. I have this vague recollection of being a very shocked child as I watched Darth Vader reveal to Luke that he was his dad. You know, like one of the greatest twists in film history, I like to think, at least. Um, and yeah, that was before any of the special editions or any of that. It was like I saw the original on VHS, and then also shortly thereafter watched Return of the Jedi too. But I remember like that memory from The Empire Strikes Back stuck with me, and how I felt at the time. That was cool. And I also remember my parents had gone to the baseball game as well. And they thought it was cool. I think they might have gone to a couple of games, but that was the one that I really remember. Baseball is way unfair nowadays. Dodgers bought literally everyone. Oh yeah, that's what a friend of mine said, that the Dodgers are basically pay to win. Because that they pay the most, and so like they'll get everybody. So you now associate Darth Vader with Mitch Williams, obviously. It was that was a fun time. Uh But yeah, what else was I yeah, I don't know. I just remember I think my mom was probably the one who was mostly into baseball, and she maybe then got my dad into it. I'm not sure. Oh, hello. Oh, you just couldn't stand not being the center of attention, could you? Good evening, short stack goblin. We are waiting impatiently for Avi and Dante to show up so that they can argue with each other and give me content. I don't know what we are debating. Okay. Hello, Dante.
Hello.
You're debating Palestinian identity. I thought you guys
Oh yeah,
knew
that's
that.
me.
Yes. You
That
are
is I.
Palestinian. You are Palestinian identity. You
I
specifically.
won. Where's Avi?
I don't know. Huh. So you need to speak some Arabic for us.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. شو الأخبار يا جدعان?
Oh
Oh
my
no,
god.
Gid'an is Egyptian. They're gonna think I'm Egyptian now.
Based. Oh my god. Don't tell Sev. I don't know how he feels about Egyptians actually. But is that oh yeah, you did. You wait. No, you spent time in Jordan. Do they speak different dialects in like Jordan and say let's go Blue Jays in Arabic?
Yalla Blue Jays.
Based. Um
Yeah, it's basically Blue Jays, unless you want a literal translation.
That's not usually what happens, I'm assuming. I'm assuming people just say the names of like things like that, like sports teams names in English or whatever like
Yeah,
name the
exactly.
original. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because that makes more
Well,
sense.
some sports teams, like you got some teams in Spain, like in the Andalusia region, like you got Sevilla, that would be called like the Arabic name Ishbilia.
Ooh.
Then you got Grenada, would be Granada. So there's still some stuff like that.
Bill, are you behind on the stream? Lol. I'm very sorry. I spoiled a movie for you that is a bazillion years old. Okay. What was God damn, there was something else and I just lost it. I feel like I just lost it. Yeah. Are you watching the game tonight or are you just kind of paying just quasi paying attention?
No, I was downtown yesterday. I was down in the square watching
Oh.
it.
Oh.
I'm gonna go down today.
Oh, nice. Cool. Based. Um
Yeah, it was crazy. Imagine if we won, it would have been scenes.
oh yeah, absolutely. Um Wait, if you don't you don't have to tell me. Can you DM me what city you're in? I don't you don't have to tell me like live or
Like
whatever.
we're in Toronto.
Oh, you're in oh, okay. Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. I thought oh yeah, they're having watch parties all over the city. That's right. Yeah, I forgot. I was gonna say, did you ever think about like trying to go to the game? But I think tickets are like $3,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. I woke up and there was I just figured out they were doing some giveaways, but you gotta wait in line
Oh
like
man.
7 a.m., 6 a.m. to get some free tickets.
Jesus.
So I was like, I would have done it if I knew.
Hmm. Yes, Insomniac. The Avi versus Dante thing is today. If Avi will show up, the Jew is late. It's kind of odd, honestly. I would have thought that they would be punctual and on time.
Jew is never late. He's always on time.
He arrives precisely when he means to. That's
Oh yeah,
probably
that's what
I
that's
watched
what I
that
wanted to
movie
say.
10,000 times when I was in high school.
I was gonna do it today, me and my bro. We
Oh,
watched the three movies, the extended, but that's
oh
about
yeah.
13 hours.
They're great movies. If you although the book is better, but I mean that's or books, I guess you should say. Although technically it is one book, but you know they're both very good, and it's great to consume both of them. Um, I only see two Canadians. What do you mean, Toby? Well, I mean even if you don't see two Canadians, like Dante is here, he's a Canadian, and then I'm here, and there's others in
I
the
think she was
chat.
saying I'm Canadian.
Hmm. What?
I think she was saying I'm only Canadian. God damn it, Toby.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's true. The title says
Isn't
Israeli versus Palestine.
isn't Toby a fellow Canadian?
Yes, she is. It's it listen, okay. I don't know. I don't know if Sev would want to debate Avi. Um,
Yeah, Sev is not a big fan.
yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And I would say, I mean, who wants to see Sev versus David round 50 gazillionth? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's starting to feel a little bit older now. I'm also not a big fan. Oh, hi, Abby. Sev likes name calling. I do not. Abby, get on the Discord, damn you. Oh, I'm gonna post this to Lego Fortnite because I'm sure that like some more people will probably want to come over and chat or watch, I guess. It should be Avi versus Sundowner. Avi would lose because he wouldn't understand what Sundowner was saying. Hey, that's not fair, Lars. Sundowner has a much better microphone now. It's actually pretty easy to understand what he's saying now. 10 to 15 minutes, etc. Okay, Abby.
I mean,
Okay.
Sundowner sounds like he came out of the 7th century, so I kind of understand.
Oh my god. I actually miss Sundowner.
Avi, you got no gains. Shut the fuck up. You ain't going to no gym.
He's got a family.
No,
He
he's saying he's
needs
going to the gym.
Yeah, I know.
He's got no muscles.
He
Stop
said
that.
just leaving gym, need a few minutes. I haven't heard you wait, really, Lars? You haven't? Sundowner's had a good mic for a while now. I feel like Sundowner's old mic is like old loner box lore. He's right, this is my first time in years. Oh, okay, well, rip. Never mind. Uh, Someone sent him one, no, or Loner paid for one. I think Loner bought him a blue microphone. It was like a it was payment for translation work that Sundowner did for him. Look at State Taimon fiasco in the meantime. I was looking at that yesterday. The Attorney General, she or not the Attorney General, what did I say? The top lawyer in the IDF was she admitted that she leaked the videos and then she quit. Or she was forced to resign rather, and she apparently leaked it because the media would not believe it otherwise. And everybody was saying it was a lie. Short stack goblin, they mean less bad Mike. I mean, I don't know. He seems to come through pretty clear. The right is celebrating to them because to them it means the whole thing is fake. Okay. I mean, all right, whatever. I mean, better to believe that it's fake than actually confront systemic issues or something. Huh. I mean,
I haven't been following that, so I wouldn't know, to be honest, but I have seen it in the news. I guess it's pretty serious.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's that like about the right, like it's the torture video basically.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's like major infighting left, right, BB's coalition,
yeah.
government taking their sides. Seems weird.
Oh. Rabin Memorial Rally. Sun says Israeli leaders reignite hatred and division. I'm starting to hate Israel. Dante, can you find me a place? What the hell, Abby? You're supposed to be a right-wing Israeli. What are you doing? Don't ruin my content. You need to be a crazy extremist Ben Gvir lover. Otherwise, like what? Otherwise, like, listen. I'm trying to have a peers debate, okay? I have to get two retarded extremists on. Also, Dante, you need to like put on your best "I love Hamas" hat and talk about resistance and how it's based and how Sinwar is awesome and the best dude ever and so on and so forth.
Nothing you said was a lie. Go on.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I actually am curious to see what kind of conversation you guys are gonna have. Um, but yeah. Although I'm sure some people probably think, yeah, I don't know. Both of you are
There's someone in chat and Loner in Lego Fortnite thinks I'm like a full-on Hamas supporter, so it's all good.
listen, let's not talk about David while he's not here, okay?
Oh no, it's not David. David's someone else. David for sure thinks that. No, if I'm being fair, he doesn't think that. He only half thinks that.
Yeah. Um I mean, it's obviously entertaining watching you and David argue against each other, but like it's very funny because I feel like David is like the most Zionist person, like the most pro-Israel person in Loner Chord, and he's not even Israeli. Like,
You know how they say that Palestinian diasporas usually are the most like radical. Those are the ones that you would see at the protests and yelling from the river to the sea and all that. It's the same thing with the Jewish diaspora, those that are not in Israel.
yeah, I mean that obviously makes sense. Wait, you're Palestinian diaspora. Why aren't you? No, I'm kidding. No, I know it's not going to be everybody, but yeah, that seems to be. It makes much more sense that it turns into like I don't know, some level of insane team sports or whatever when you're not actually living there and you're not part of it, and so it's easier to yell from the sidelines about how everyone needs to fight forever and until victory or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, like you're
Also,
not
like,
living.
there's different levels of diaspora. Like, you got the Palestinians that they are like descendants of refugees, but they don't have any family in the land. They haven't had anyone in the land for like 30, 40, 50 plus years. And then you got the people who have direct descendants, cousins, aunts, uncles on the other side of the wall or on the other side of the bank. So it's like it's complicated. It's part of the Palestinian identity thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the ones who don't necessarily know that many people there or whatever are like more extreme, but it I guess it really depends on who, like what kind of stuff or whatever, it's just like that one guy that Destiny debated that that Hassan dude whose name is like Flacco something on Twitter, the one who pronounces Gaza wrong, and it's very obvious he probably doesn't speak any Arabic. He's the one who does he's one of many people who does the Gaza thing. I can't do it. I mean, yeah, you probably can do it, but that's apparently not how you actually say it, or like nobody ever says it that strong. It's like the way Athena was saying it in her debate with Loner, even though that's not really how you say it, or no
The
Arabs.
emphasis. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just there's only two ways of saying it. You either say Gaza or Ghazal, just like that.
yeah,
Off the bat,
exactly.
you
Like,
don't do any emphasis or anything like that.
yeah, like what you just like. I can't say it the way that you just said it, but like maybe I could eventually if I tried. But like it's like I feel like I don't know. Like you can tell somebody is larping when they just like they try so hard to like say it like that, and it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, and also usually people who say that don't actually speak Arabic, and which makes it all the more hilarious. Like just say Gaza. Jeez.
Sometimes I even say Gaza because honestly, like there's something about the word Gaza. It's like, oh my god, I don't know.
Yeah, like goddamn, it's um I don't
Sounds
know. It's
rough.
yes. Um well, it's they actually had 30 years since the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin. Damn. Hmm. Hello, kitty. Hello. To be fair, the Athena, that scoundrel, she does overpronounce every language. Like how she said Herzl in Budapest. Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. She's like she doesn't speak any of the like she probably the only languages she speaks I imagine are probably like German and English because she lives in Germany. But there might be some other like language that she speaks because I know she's from Africa. Also, I do have to give like at least some level of shout out to her. To her credit, um, um, she does talk about Sudan, and she was talking about it before everybody else started talking about it, which is nice. And people actually got mad at her for how much she was talking about like various things happening in Africa instead of constantly talking about Palestine. Um, which means like yeah, like it seems like she actually cares about it. Less to her credit, I think she supports the authoritarian government in Eritrea, even though they're like really bad, because she's a tanky. Um, how does she say Herzl? Hold on. Let's I'm gonna find it Insomniac as we wait for Avi, who is so late. And I'm sure he feels called out right now.
No, it's got to be something like Herzl, Herzl, or something
Oh
like that.
yeah, probably. Let's see.
Germans are so goofy. I'm sorry.
I'm not late. I did say approximately 4 hours. I'm looking at my iPad. Oh man.
Tell you, is there
She sounds so disarming. Um
Tina?
yeah, she does cuz she's like she's that the voice, I guess. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
that character. I seen like her videos and unhinged takes. But yeah, she does have the disarming voice before she hits you with the with the racism.
Yeah. Yes, before she calls Egyptians sand n-words. Yes. It's so sad. This is where Dean slash Parker get their info on IP. Yes, that is incredibly sad. And I really need to get like the TikTok stuff working so that I can because I just want to go on Dean or Parker's stream and pretend that I voted for Trump and that it was about Israel like David did, just so that I can challenge just so that I can like tell them that Athena is a terrible person and that she is a Hamas supporter. Um, oh, it was an Afghan bill. Okay. I mean, still, it's all just as bad. Like it's really, really bad. Um, come on, jeez, friggin' transcript load. I am not going to. This debate is like almost 5 hours, which is really cool. But you know, okay, is it me or is Athena like the whitest name ever? I mean, yeah, it is. Although to be fair, she is actually black, but she's like one of those really racist people. Yeah, I
I
don't
doubt
know.
that's her
Hmm?
name.
What?
I doubt that's her name.
Oh, it's not. It's not actually her. That's just her handle, you know. Um, yeah, it's she's like I don't know, I feel like she's like the embodiment of um I feel like does anyone remember Tallybots? The girl who voted for Trump based on vibes and couldn't explain why, but who was also a really good debate partner for Loner. When she talked about like not liking wokeness, I feel like that's the whole like Dean Parker microaggressions shit, and people like Athena kind of embodied what she meant by wokeness, but she wasn't really able to explain it. Um,
Honestly, that kind of sounds like me for the longest time. I would get put off by the left and the Democrats and like not the policies per se, but just like the institution, just because of those types.
yeah, I mean that's completely fair. Like those people are ridiculously loud, even though they are not like even though they are in the minority and they're very like online, but yeah, they're incredibly toxic. I think that Kaya Walsh person who went to Iran and stopped being a Democratic activist. She started out as a Democratic activist. I think she was the one who was in that video, the video that was posted online where she was like wearing a hijab and because she was in Iran.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think that was her. Like, and there was another video of her that came out where she was openly praising Hamas and Hezbollah and everything. And yeah, like there was apparently she was incredibly toxic when she was working within the Democratic Party because she would engage in purity testing and stuff. Um, I'm pretty sure that was the skinhead lady from Canada. No, I don't think so. Oh, there he is, finally. Hello.
Hello. How do I sound?
You sound great.
Thank you. That's
Now
the gym.
Now it's time.
Avi, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing very good, hopefully.
Hell yeah, brother.
Okay, so you want to yap a little bit more or you want to start?
No, you may go ahead. I'm not going to say much unless it's to ask questions. I believe that you guys were debating. This all started because I think, Avi, you asked Dante a question about Palestinian identity or Palestinian nationalism or nationhood or something. Do you remember what that question was? Because if you didn't, I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I remember.
All right.
First of all, this is just a disclaimer. I debate off vibes, which means I don't read articles. I'm not going to read polls. I'm going to take your word for it unless it sounds sus. That's basically it.
I may fact check or look up polls, perhaps. Oh, you need to announce them like in wrestling. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. So on the Palestinian side, we have Dante, Dante the Arab, who speaks fluent Arabic, as we saw earlier. So he's not a LARPing Arab, even though he lives in Canada. He's a Palestinian. And then on the other side, we have Avi, who lives in Israel and was infamously banned from Loner Chord because he is a right-wing Ben Gvir supporter, except he's not. But yeah, I don't know. He LARPs as one sometimes, I guess. But
allegedly.
Yeah, that's accurate. How do I view the YouTube chat while we talk without
just pause the video?
Hearing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the YouTube chat keeps going? Okay.
Yeah, it does. You can pop it out if you want to, but yeah, or just mute the stream. You don't have to pause it, but yeah. Whatever you want. I don't know if you're on a computer or not, but
no, I'm on the iPad.
Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah.
So I could present my positions in general if you want. It could make it less interesting though.
Hangnails asks, can I say slurs in your chat? What? No. I mean, I don't know. It depends what you mean by. You can swear in my chat, but no, you may not say slurs in my chat.
Send them to me by DMs.
Okay, go ahead, guys.
Anyways, just a short background of me. I came from like very far right, Ben Gvir Smotrich, fundamentalist kind of mindset. After October 7th, I moved far away from that, but like I wouldn't say that I'm leftist because I'm kind of disgusted by leftists in general. Sometimes even liberals piss me off. So like I kind of find a comfortable position in the middle where I can criticize everyone and it's fun. But I do often steelman the right because all of my family and my wife's family are far right. Well, some, almost all. Like I get conspiracy theories from them that kind of sound Candace Owens like. We do get in heated debates. I do defend the left. I do defend the Arabs and Palestinians. I'm not proud of it, but it happens. Anyways,
can I ask a question? When you say that you are that when you're talking about through the lens of Israeli politics, right? Because people in chat, like I think most of us, except for shout out to the Israelis in the chat, or maybe it's just Insomniac. Although I think I saw Addie Sam in there too earlier. But yeah, so that's what you mean, right? You're not talking about like, yeah, are any of his family's settlers though?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So he's not talking about like US politics, because in Israel, I'm pretty sure like the left right thing is basically just a lot of it is based on the conflict. Yes.
Yeah, to be fair, if I if I try to compare the Israeli discourse between the right and the left to American, in the US, the left is significantly more moderate than the way it is in Israel. In Israel, everyone's just at each other's throats. That's why I said earlier in chat that I'm starting to hate Israel.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very blackpilling for me.
Okay. I mean, it's probably very divisive. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, everybody. Keep going.
Okay. So
Sure.
I could present the position start to finish and then just let Dante tell me what he thinks about it, or I can do it incrementally.
Sure, if you want, I can go like
which-
a little background about myself, like the one you just did, and then you
okay.
can
Yeah.
what you mean by or what's the question about Palestinian identity. So,
Okay.
as far for me, I go by Dante. I'm a Palestinian, Jordanian, Canadian. Yeah, 3 in 1. I
Nice.
spent a lot of times and a lot of my life in Jordan. I spent many years in the West Bank, and I spent also many years growing up in Canada. So I have a international kind of view of the world. But as far as as far as my positions go, I'm a fairly moderate Palestinian, relatively to what that means in the actual context of Palestine, Israel, not what the West thinks it is. And I have a lot of family that Avi mentioned that there might be on the little bit on the far side of the conflict, talking about basically like Jewish conspiracies that you would hear like from Adolf. So that stuff does exist around some friends of mine, family in the area in the West Bank and Jordan. But as far as for me, I'm a moderate Palestinian. I believe that Palestinians have a right to a two-state, and they have a right to resist in order to get that two-state. That's pretty much my background and what I believe.
Cool. We're starting from a point of agreement, which is cool.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So the position is, I guess I should present it start to finish. First of all, when you say you consider yourself a moderate Palestinian, do you mean in comparison to Palestinians in Israel or diaspora Palestinians? When I say in Israel, I mean Israel, West Bank, and Gaza, because
Yeah,
obviously it's all Israel.
I would say I am moderate considered to those ones in the land.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I thought, because the vibes that I'm getting from those regions is that, well, not the Palestinians in Israel like Sev, but more like in West Bank and Gaza. The vibes that I'm getting is that they're significantly more radical, to a point where it seems like the people from outside of the region care more about their lives than they do. Is that correct? Do you think that's correct?
In some ways, yeah. Honestly, I think like it's the opposite. Like I think the Palestinian thing is like when you talk about the Palestinian identity, you gotta like separate them. Like you got how many? 4 groups. You got like Palestinians in Israel, then you got Palestinians in the West Bank, then Gaza, then the diasporas globally and in the Middle East, and everyone has their own way of thinking or way of going about the conflict. But I believe, as in like the Palestinians in Israel proper or historic Palestine, West Bank, and Gaza, uh, I mean they do care for their lives. Like they don't want to die and give their lives up for nothing. I just feel like the more radical things we hear come from like outside, from the media on that you see like Al Jazeera, that you see on X, that you see on Facebook, IG. Like that's the most you like the most radical thing you would hear in the West Bank or Gaza is that we have to resist Israel and we have to attack them if they attack us, and we have to fight for our land. Like that's the most. Some people might think that's unhinged, but that's the most thing you would hear. But
For all of
as
the land, right?
I mean, some people do think that. I'm not gonna sit here and deny it that some people actually believe that taking over all of the historic Palestine and as a one state, some people believe that one state can be a peaceful state of coexistence, as if some Jews are just gonna accept not living in a Jewish majority. and some people believe in forceful expulsion or genociding. Like, we're not going to pretend that's not like a viewpoint that's held by few. But yeah, that is true. But many Palestinians do believe in I guess like it's many Palestinians believe in they want a state. They do believe that Israel has a right to exist in some form. I don't know what that form looks like to when they say that. I've had many conversations. Many Palestinians do accept that historic Palestine in some shape, way, or form is not going to be coming back. That is a common sentiment, but yeah, I just disagree that the majority of Palestinians believe that fighting on till the end, whether it be attacking Israel proper, whether it be by terrorism, is going to lead at the end of the day, or by diplomatic efforts, it's going to lead to a one-state solution with either peaceful coexistence or with the ideal Arab state, which some people wanted 75, 80 years ago that never materialized.
So I guess that's vibes. I wouldn't like. I have no no evidence that it would be a majority. I have seen different opinions. The opinions I've seen are from some Palestinians was something along the lines of, "I really don't care who's in charge as long as I can live in peace," and they don't care that their neighbors are Jews. And others that don't even have a horse in the race. They're not like politicians. They're just like regular people, normies that would say something like, "Yeah, we have to resist." And why? Because there's no peace with Jews. And this is actually something that I see also on the other side. I debated with my dad about this a year back, and my position was, what if you had a genuine reason to believe that the Palestinians no longer want to kill all the Jews? And he wasn't able to contend with the hypothetical. He would just say that's not a real thing. That doesn't happen. So I think most of the Palestinians, I really do think most of the Palestinians also can't contend with the hypothetical that Jews are actually people you can live next to. I don't think that means that there's no hope for a two-state solution. I just think it's going to be much more work than we think.
I think that's fair, but I feel that you're just a little bit too much on the black pill side. That
Yeah, for sure.
On the extremists, whether it be on your side or on the other side, is like just too great, too much, a lot of volume in it, and that is just going to be the way. Even though there is.
So you're saying that. Yeah. You're saying that the average Palestinian in West Bank is willing to comply with a two-state solution, and not eternal war.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I am saying that, but I'm not saying that just like you ask a Palestinian that and they're gonna tell you, yeah, we're gonna be doing that. The thing is that some of the aggravating factors that have been leading up to Palestinians slowly and surely like radicalizing in higher numbers, that it's not radicalizing, like some radicalizing, but the black pilling is that there's no solution that's going to be happening, and what that black pill leads you to is adopting policies like and acts like terrorism, and so that's not effective. I guess what I'm saying is a lot of the aggravating factors that lead to why this radicalization is happening need to be stopped, i.e. the settlements, i.e. an effective, not even saying that Israel saying that they want a two-state solution, just opening dialogue for that. Small steps, incremental steps like that over time, I think would be like a huge de-radicalization effort, even though it might not be effective at first or short term, but it surely will be a de-radicalization if there's actual good faith. And that's definitely got to come from both sides. But if there's good faith negotiations for what Palestinians are aggravated by, which is mostly the settlements and the lack of a Palestinian state, among obviously the economic situations, the healthcare and whatnot, like what every other people go through. I feel like if those things are somewhat remedied, started to be treated, that we could see some actual progress.
Okay, so everything we agree on so far. The question now is, Actually think about how to approach this. Yeah. Okay. So, how would you describe Palestinian identity or Palestinian nationality in a way that excludes other groups? If I had to say, for example, Jewish nationality is based loosely around the religion and the culture, which is basically offshoots of the religion. That's what I think, at least. Some people would argue. Some people say that we come from monkeys or some bullshit.
Well, I'm an atheist. I'm a former Sunni Muslim, so I do believe in the. I'm not religious at all. I do believe in the evolution theory and whatnot. But
Yeah. Okay.
so as far as what Palestinian
Vibes.
identity entails, well, it's not really vibes. It's
I'm
like, are you
joking.
one of the people that say? I'm sure you're not, but a theory is something that, like saying evolution is just a theory. Like you're not one of those people, right?
I'm agnostic about that.
Okay. Well, it's not about debate. Is not about evolution and whatnot. So as far
Right.
as Palestinian identity goes, like when you say like you remove from other groups, like distinct from other groups, you mean Arabs specifically?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, like that's a non-starter because Palestinian identity is somewhat derivative from Arab culture and identity, and because Palestinian identity has been like Arabs have been in the land since like the 7th, the 8th
No,
century, and
I understand
over time,
that
yeah.
Palestinians are a subset of Arab, but what makes a Palestinian different from Egyptian or Jordanian?
I mean, you got linguistic differences, you got culinary differences, you got cultural, whether it be patries, embroidery, specific embroidery, each and every village and town, that specific also, like symbols, arts, poetic manifestation, like all kinds.
Wait a second. When you said the embroidery is specific to different towns and villages, like they each have their own methods.
Yeah, it's like I'm not sure what's the technical terms it's called for the embroidery, like the damn it, I don't even know what like the X's and O's. Yeah, they have different styles, different motifs, ways they do it from different village to village. So that's one
So,
thing.
so it's not necessarily something that it's not necessarily a common denominator for Palestinians. If each sub region has a different method,
No, but you're
unless
saying
collectively it's
Palestinian.
different from
Yes,
other
you're
Arabs.
saying Palestinians as a whole. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like Palestinians as
Okay,
a whole do is the embroidery is something specific to the Palestinians that
right.
they do and they specialize in that to the point that each and every village, even sometimes family, have their own motif, have their own design.
Right.
So honestly, like I'm just like confused by what Palestinian identity is supposed to mean because I can like say that about like almost any other nationality. Like, what's American identity supposed to mean? Is it cheeseburgers and freedom? I mean, sure, it's part of it, but that's not the entire thing. That's not exactly what American identity is.
Um, I do think American identity is something around their constitution. I don't know if I want to get too far into American identity, but like when Americans, I guess right wingers talk about people they would want to accept into the country, they're
Mhm.
usually referring to people who respect, freedoms and constitutional laws. That's what I think.
Yeah,
That's
but
why they have issues with people, with criminals and drug dealers, etc.
sure,
Um,
the identity manifests from something that's external
right.
to the human. It's not based on race. It's not based on religion. It's based on it's like a man-made thing. That's why you can be an American, you can be a Black American, you can be an Arab American, you can be an American that doesn't even speak English, and you're still an American.
So the position that I heard that triggered the question or the debate was that a big part of Palestinian identity is the land from the river to the sea. If it's something that at least it's something that I see in artwork online all the time,
It is,
Palestinian
yeah.
artwork. So
It's mostly based around the idea of right of return that Palestinians have a right to. I'm not going to say like like we already discussed in the beginning, that some extreme elements do believe that from the river to the sea means either naively a one-state solution that's peaceful, or a completely one that's void of Jews. So we
Right.
already established that, but mostly that sort of style, that sort of art sentiment is based around the idea of right of return. So that is part of the
Right.
Palestinian identity, for sure.
So right. So not necessarily cleansing the land of Jews, but just to the Palestinians being able to reach all of the historic Palestine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's like the ideal solution, the ideal like outcome of a peace deal, of whatever, like whatever happens, a successful
So
resistance, whatever.
so so I'm going to shift a little bit to a little discussion about Jewish identity, which we mentioned earlier, was surrounding religion at some point. Like when you have Jews who call themselves cultural Jews, it usually means that they do practice like some of the holidays here and there. They do the snipping the penis at 8 days old and the other stuff. Like it's all like practicing of some parts of religion. So at the end, when we do have when we establish a country and we have the ability to practice the thing that unites us as a nation, we will, and that's why community practiced religious Judaism has been on a rise ever since the establishment of the state. And if I replace, I guess I'm going to shift back to Palestinians. Assuming the Palestinians get their state next to a Jewish state, when would this identity try to manifest itself to the point where, assuming they all remember, they all have their list of things that allow them their Palestinian identity, like the embroidery and the yearning for the return. Eventually, the return is probably gonna poke out at some point and lead to actions. That's the concern that I've heard, and I share it a little bit.
I mean, that's a fair concern. It is, but I believe like that's something that it's like one of the kinks that have to be ironed out in a peace deal, in a negotiation, in anything that's, because everything we're talking about is basically in a context of post-peace deal, or in the process of negotiating an actual peace deal or a two-state solution. So some of these concerns, I would hope that they're going to be like ironed out, which is like, okay, you Palestinians say that you want some Palestinians say that you want a two-state solution, and you guys will calm down, and you won't, and the terrorism will stop, and the talk about from the river to the sea, from the most extreme elements, is going to stop. I mean, that is all fair, but it's something I see that can be ironed out in negotiations. And honestly, like that's something that goes for the other side. Like, what's going to stop
Right.
an extreme
Wait,
Jewish settler from saying, I want to be in that land that's promised to me?
I'm seeing some bad faith in chat, but I guess I should have seen that coming. I
mean, if we want to bring people,
when you say that it's something that would be hashed out in negotiations, you mean that Israel would make a demand that the Palestinian state would illegalize yearning for a return?
Like, I guess, like what? No, let me see. Let me think about that. Like, what would that look like?
I
Like
think.
artwork?
Can I throw something out here? Also, I was going to say, if when you guys have like gone through everything and are done, if people that are in the shop want to come in and argue with one or both of you, I am fine with that. However, usually the demand that I see put forward by the Israelis is that they typically are afraid that it's like, as you very much expressed there, Avi, often the demand that I see is that Palestinians have to change their education system so that it won't, so they'll stop teaching their kids to hate the Jews or what have you. Is that kind of like what you're getting at, Avi, or?
That is, but like the way I see it, it can go both ways. It can either go in the way that having a state and having economic freedom and no blockades will have a de-radicalizing effect. And even if people hold on to the identity that kind of demands a return, they'll say, like, why do we need that bullshit if we're happy now? the way we are. We have some of the land that we wanted, and we're able to fly, to other countries. We're able to I don't know, whatever the other things that Palestinians can't do right now, go to their friends and neighbors, and without having IDF soldiers checking their pockets. The thing is that I think it could also go the other way, which is that there will always be a group of extremists who hold on, like Hamas, basically, that hold on to an ideology no matter how comfortable their position is.
Sure, I agree with that, but like to counter your point, like Daniela Weiss, like that is an example of like a one-to-one example of like Hamas extremism to Jewish settler extremism. What's stopping her from doing anything crazy, like going into Gaza and settling, or having like a huge amount of following, more than she already has? I mean, because like people in Israel have something to live for, which is like they can have a thriving life, they can have a successful life, they have freedom of movement, they can go wherever they want, they have access to healthcare in a much better way than a lot of the people in the world. And like it's just those types of things that when Palestinians have, I feel like they want to be thinking about stuff like, oh yeah, I need to go into Israel proper right now for some reason about right of return. No, it's just about like giving people the reason to be happy in the land that they're in.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree on that. I think it's
And also, just not to cut you off, but like it's not like any Palestinian state that's going to be accepted and signed off on. I'm pretty sure it's going to be mostly a demilitarized state, and it's only going to be like security forces that are coordinating with Arab countries and Israel, at least for like 20, 30 years. So all of this stuff is like, I feel like is like secondary stuff, which I'm not saying that you don't have a right to be worried about or bring up, and it's certainly fair stuff to be talked about and hashed out, but I don't see it as stuff that stops a two-state solution from going on or stops Palestinian identity from rising.
to be fair.
Let me
I'm
ask
actually
you a question. Like, would you
go
be okay if, let's say, like a two-state solution does in fact happen, and it's relatively peaceful? There's some clashes, some calling out to violence, but it's all like hashed out in code and whatnot. But what if there's like a peaceful movement that moves toward like a one-state solution that says, yeah, okay, we had a two-state solution, we're living peacefully now, how about we unite and become one state? Would you be against something like that in theory and practice? Like,
if there's a lot of good faith, and I guess there's enough years of experience that show us that we could live in peace together, and the most important part to me, which is freedom of religion for Jews, then I wouldn't mind.
absolutely, but isn't that like directly in what's it called, in contradiction to Zionism, in which you would have to have a Jewish majority in a state in order to be the most safe?
So the Zionism and the Jewish majority are two different things, at least in my opinion. The Zionism is an integral part of Judaism. It's basically a lot of the commands in the Torah are referring specifically to the Promised Land, and it's pretty obvious that the intention is that we're supposed to live here. Jewish majority comes from anti-Semitism and the lesson, I guess, from Herzl that and the what was the thing called in France with the Jewish officer? I don't remember. Basically, Jews should
The
be,
Dreyfus Affair.
Yeah, that one. The idea is that we can't really trust Gentiles as much as we thought we could. That and so a lot of, I guess, like I said, a lot of good faith can show that maybe we can. I'm not sure if we would have to do something like Lebanon, where we can have a parliament that's half Jew, half Palestinian. I'm not sure how like I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable with a parliament that's like a vast majority of Palestinians. But that
honestly,
only might
that would be
that might be only because of the current experience. But yeah, there is like I said, the biggest issue for me is like an infringement on religious practice. Like if our fates are decided by another nation, they wouldn't really care so much about our religion like we do.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna have differing opinions on this. But I think the best way to solve that would be a secular, democratic government with
Fuck
some,
that.
like what you said, with some,
Based democracy enjoyer.
I'm okay with
considerations like the population counts and demographics. I think that's fair.
I'm okay with Hasidus Sharia hybrid government.
Wait, hold on a sec.
I don't know what that is.
Hold on, wait, just a second. Avi, I just want to know, like, are you actually like memeing right now, or do you not? Because like I agree with Dante. Like, if the government is a secular government, then I think that things are probably going to be better in terms of religion not taking over. And then
I'm memeing, yeah, memeing.
Okay,
but I don't trust seculars. That's another thing. The seculars in Israel, the Jewish seculars in Israel, don't show the proper respect to the religion like I'd hope from people who pride themselves with freedom of religion.
Oh, I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, I think secularism, as a secularist, I would say that secularism isn't just about like it is freedom from religion, sure, in the sense that the government doesn't force it on you, but it should also be freedom of religion as well. I mean, I would think that the best way to do it probably would be that you would have two, so like, a lot of the religious stuff would be sort of community administered, like so the Muslims would get their Sharia courts, and then like the Jews would get whatever their version of that is. I'm sorry, I don't really know.
Right.
And
It doesn't really have a name. Beit Din, I guess, doesn't really have a name.
okay, yeah, stuff like that would probably be a good way to like go about doing that sort of thing, rather than yeah, and then the laws are just based on like what is democratically decided in terms of like how one governs one's life or whatever. But yeah, because you want to kind of keep that sort of stuff. But also, what about there was something that I saw, but I'm trying to find it now. It was something that Sev talked about. It was called like Land for Peace or something. It was like the idea was I guess Israel and Palestine would become sort of like a confederation or whatever. But there would be able to be like free movement. That seems like the best way to do like a one state solution to me, rather than the whole country or the whole, all of everything becomes one country. Rather, it would be instead just that you guys would have like kind of an EU sort of thing where you could, go and live or go and like work in each other's countries, but you would vote. Palestinians who lived in Palestine would vote in Palestine. Israelis who lived in Israel would vote in Israel. The 20% of the 48ers who are currently in Israel right now they would get to stay there if they wanted to. And yeah, it would just kind of go like that, and obviously there would be a bunch of shit that you would have to do to get there. Like, I think one of the main things that would work really well would be like if your kids grow up together, so like mixed schools and stuff, or having some sort of program where Palestinian kids get to go to school at an Israeli school, and Israeli kids get to go to a Palestinian school. Yeah, like something like that. Obviously a whole bunch of stuff would have to happen. It would probably be like 50 to 100 years before, or like maybe 100 to 150 years before any of this happened, because there's so much bad blood right now between the two groups. And yeah, like I feel like it would be,
there's got to be like room for a transitional period.
Yeah.
Some people just say like, oh, a Palestinian state happens, or Israel just gives up power, or and it's gonna be like craziness. I mean, come on, guys. Everything has got to be like planned out, hashed out. There's gonna be room for a margin of error and stuff like that. So I feel like people just throw out Palestinian statehood like off the bat just because of the extremism that does indeed exist. But that's not a thing to disqualify an entire people from having a state.
I do think that I don't know if you guys would agree with me as secular atheists, but I do think that communities should be able to retain one specific identity. So I don't mean that, let's say, a Jewish community should be able to reject Arabs moving in or the opposite, but it should be like it should lean to one side at least, for not because we're racist or anything, but because it would be easier to provide community services or religious services to only one of those groups per community.
Yeah.
Like, if, for example, if I have a community that's all Jewish and then an Arab moves in and then he demands a mosque, like it makes things complicated. But I do think that even now Israel should start teaching Arabic in Jewish schools. I do think there should be like outreach programs between the Jews and the Arabs. Don't see any reason not to do that. I'm leaving this conversation. I don't know if it's over yet, but I'm leaving this conversation with a little bit more black pilling on our side, because I know that I guess we can at least hope that giving a state to the Palestinians will help de-radicalizing at least negotiations. But the extremes on the Jewish and the Israeli side, I don't know if like we said, I don't think they're missing that much like the Palestinians are, that giving them something would help de-radicalize. You know what I mean? Like you said, what is Daniela Weiss missing from her life that's pushing her?
I have an idea about that. As a outsider, white woman who has been observing this all from the outside, I think that, well, I mean, let's think about where Daniela Weiss came from, right? Her parents were in the Irgun, I believe. Yeah, they were. So she was raised by people who were already radical. And I think that people like that, when they see October 7th, they are happy about it because it just makes everything like it makes things easier for them. And she probably
It's like see, I told you guys.
Yeah,
That's
basically,
exactly what you said in the Tears thing.
Yeah, like she doesn't like Palestinians, and she thinks that they don't want peace, and she thinks there's no point in trying peace. And obviously for her, she's also like a crazy like religious extremist, so she thinks that like all of the land belongs to the Jews and the Palestinians aren't real and that they need to get out and leave. And it's like, yeah, I think that is, I think people like that, maybe not her specifically, because it feels like it's the same thing with Hamas, right? Like I think that the leadership in like more radicalized groups are usually the people at the top are usually like they have something that they believe, and then they pull other people in by having them get radicalized by the environment that is around them, right? So like someone might join Hamas if their family gets killed in an Israeli airstrike, or if they like get super blackpilled or that kind of thing, right? Or like in the West Bank, they might do it because that some asshole settlers came and killed all their cows and burned down their house. Or they might join Lion's Den or something like that. And then like obviously in Israel on October 7th, I imagine probably that there were quite a few people who became like more, if not blackpilled, or they became either blackpilled or radicalized. I'll say radicalized for people who like sort of decided, well, I guess that Ben Gvir and Daniela Weiss are right. Like we can never make peace with them. Or like they probably more likely just became blackpilled. Like, yeah, I did look up some polling data, and it's interesting because as of October 25th, in the West Bank, 44% of people support a two-state solution. In the Gaza Strip, 45% of people support two states. Meanwhile, over in Israel, these numbers are from September, and the most Israelis, like it's like at 27% for support for a two-state solution in 2025.
Oh man,
Yeah,
looking bad for us.
And I think that is like, I feel like people like Ben Gvir and Smotrich will lose their power a lot when there is not a credible threat on the other side, or something that they can point to and say, see, these guys don't want peace. There's no point. We just need to get rid of all of them. Or people like Bibi too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, this goes back to like the main thing that I disagree with the pro-Israel side. and the more radical people on the pro-Israel side is that you can't bomb the Hamas out of the Palestinians. Like you can't bomb the radicalism. It's not the way to go. So, and that's honestly been my position for the last 2 3 years. It's part of the reason, like me and David, like we go back and forth, is I just believe that you can't destroy Hamas. Not that you can't destroy them like militarily and stuff like that, but the idea that makes Hamas stay there, makes them popular, makes them have popular support, whether it be in Gaza, the West Bank, or even they have like the most support on the diaspora side. Those are the reasons that, like, those aggravating factors are the things that you got to take away.
Hmm.
Or you can do genocide.
Yes.
Or you can do that, and then
Yeah.
you can become a pariah state, but you have successfully dealt with, quote unquote, the problem.
Yeah, that's kind
I think they'll forget about it in a few hundred years.
Yeah, but I mean, in the meantime, you guys will. I mean, I don't know if that would be. I feel like that would, because if even if you were to, do genocide, which would involve some level of ethnic cleansing, there's still a whole lot of Palestinians like within the diaspora that exist, and those people won't just go away. And so, yeah, like
Listen,
yeah.
we got to Charlie Kirk. I don't know. There's limits.
Oh my God.
The thing that like I said at the beginning, I can usually steelman the right. The thing that really sets me off about Daniela Weiss is her disregard for, like, her unwillingness to condemn Israeli terrorism and her disregard for, like, innocence, like death of innocence on the Palestinian side.
Oh, well, yeah, because she doesn't think that, like, because, I mean, she's part of the group of people that do the settler terrorism, right? Like, that's her people, is it
Well,
not?
she doesn't do it herself. She just
Yeah, I know
yeah.
she doesn't
She's
do
like
it.
the figurehead, the godmother of the
Yeah.
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 Vanna Loven says, okay, no, this is a bad way of thinking about it. Ben-Gvir and Smotrich and disagreeing with two-state solution is two different things. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that, like, I'm just saying that Ben-Gvir and Smotrich, the more black-pilled regular Israelis become, like, it might be easier for them to push those ideas in particular, because, like Dante said, they can then say, see, I told you so, and
Well,
yeah.
Smotrich is losing popularity, so it's not his radical positions that are attracting people.
Yeah, I think probably Bibi Netanyahu is probably or like the idea, or basically a security candidate. I watched a video earlier today that unfortunately indicated about how Israeli politics is like the security position is the mainstream popular position. And people just don't like the way that Netanyahu is going about that position, like about like maximum protection, no two states, slowly expanding settlements in the West Bank. They just don't like the fact that he screwed it up, and they also don't like that he has crazy extremist people in his government who just constantly make Israel look bad on the world stage. But they're saying that, like, people like Benny Gantz wouldn't necessarily be that much different from Netanyahu. They would just handle the PR of the whole thing better. I don't know if you think that's fair.
Right. No, that's fair. The government is so far right that even that position is still fairly right on Israel-Palestine things. Like the runner-up in the polls is Bennett, who you all know is. I don't know if he's very right, because like he's also very liberal. But he's been much more like anti-Arab and anti-Palestinian in the past. I think he's a little bit moderated on that, but not enough to support two-state solution. But like, yeah, also Lapid probably wouldn't cooperate that much unless like he had unless he was like the most right wing in a potential government, which there isn't. Yair Golan is probably the only one who would be willing to discuss two-state solution from any one of the potential future ministers.
By the way, I think Yair Golan is based, but I mean, I imagine most Israelis don't agree. I don't know if you think he's cringe or not, maybe, but obviously he's put his foot in his mouth a few times. But sorry, go on.
I actually did like him. I did like him up until like a couple months ago, where he went a little mask off. He was in a podcast and he talked about how we need to limit social media because it allows for fake news and stuff like that, which I don't like. Doesn't sound like something a democratic person would want to talk about. Also, like, what was it? Something recent where Bibi appointed a new Shabak head, and then immediately Yair Golan said, "The moment I become a minister, the moment I get into government, I'm going to replace him." Even though that's what they were basically complaining about Bibi's government doing with the previous Shabak head, like replacing someone with only because of like political opinions and not because of
Wait, are you talking
lack of
about the Shin Bet? Is that what you're referring to there for all of us dumb
yeah,
Westerners?
sorry. And
Yes.
us Israelis call it Shabak. There's whatever. Yeah, Shin Bet.
Okay, that's the
Basically, the previous
FBI,
Shin Bet
the
head
Israeli
was Ronan
FBI.
Bar. Yeah, the previous Shin Bet head was Ronan Bar. I don't really have a strong opinion on this, but it seemed like he wasn't cooperating as much as Bibi wanted him to. So Bibi made something up to fire him, and then he put some other guy in instead. And obviously, because he's a Bibi appointee, everyone's going to complain on the left. And then so the moment he became I don't know what the word is. The moment he officially got the position, Yair Golan said that he's going to replace him as soon as he can. Obviously, because of political reasons and not because of professional reasons. So he's basically doing. I don't know if he's really going to do that or not, but he's basically doing the same thing that Bibi would do.
One would hope
Or
that
did.
he wouldn't do that if the guy was actually doing a good job. But I mean, time will tell.
Which
I'm
you'd
not,
say like, okay, let's give him a couple months and see how he does.
Go ahead, Dante.
I just feel like if he was a BB appointee, removing him is a good choice, regardless.
I mean, would you say that about?
He's not gonna like that, but yeah.
Would you
Yeah,
say that
okay.
about Israel Katz? Because everyone's saying that he was clearly unqualified and that Bibi just got rid of Golan and then or Gallant and then replaced him with Katz
Well-
because so Katz would do what he wanted.
The Minister of Defense is a different position. The Minister of Defense is part of the government, and he comes with the government and he goes with the government. So when the government is replaced, he goes anyways. And yeah, he's directly what's the word? Like, yeah, Bibi controls what the Minister of Defense does. That's always been
Okay,
like that.
because
But
everyone
but
got
the Shin Bet the Shin Bet head doesn't change with the government. He is appointed by the government, but if the government changes, he still retains his position until the end of the tenure.
Yeah, it's just like the FBI in America. They do the same thing there. Because everyone was really mad when Bibi fired Gallants. Like everyone was real mad. I remember
Yeah, that was
that.
that's part of the toxicity I was referring to.
Okay.
It's not he fired him for uncool reasons, but he's still allowed to.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Dante.
I'm just gonna say I don't know really much about Israeli politics, but it kind of seems like out of the Trump playbook that you just when you get into office, you put all the quote unquote allies, everyone that's gonna do what you want to do, basically, with no pushback.
No, that's what I'm saying. That it's not like that. You only appoint ministers. All the other positions that have been appointed before only end when the person's position is over. There is a process where you can fire one of those appointed people, but it's got to go through the high courts. You can't just do it without going through them.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about that honestly because I don't know how the system works.
Wait, okay, hold on. I'm seeing some stuff in the chat here. So Fire is saying chat is more pro-Palestinian than people who debated me in VC before. The fuck. I think further above, Hangnails said something about they're already doing a genocide ? I mean, Hangnails, if you actually I don't know if we actually want to have the fucking genocide conversation or not, but if there are pro-Palestinian people, like people who would consider themselves even more pro-Palestinian than like the two people who are here, because like Avi, I feel like the fact that you want are you considered pro-Palestine by people that you know in Israel? Because that's what I heard, that in Israel, if you support a Palestinian state, you're considered pro-Palestine.
Yeah, it would be. I just don't talk about it too much with people I know.
Okay, that's fair. Because I assume that they would be angry with you.
I mean, if you want to have the genocide conversation based on vibes, we can do it because I do think it is. But
based on vibes, I also think it is.
Oh my God.
That's it. I walked right into that one.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Avi did vote yes in the "Is Israel committing genocide in Gaza" poll that we had in chat
Oh.
the other day.
Yeah, so he does agree with me. I won.
Yes.
Chat, we got him.
I think when people say that it's a genocide, they don't mean that it's a genocide. They mean we should do the things that you do when something is a genocide, right? Because if you lay out all the facts, people can easily make a decision to one or the other direction.
Oh
I
hey,
mean,
Sev.
what you're saying is people want to do is like the sanctions and the punishments and whatnot. That's what people actually want.
Yeah, okay. So that's why there's a a whole court thing. Like even if the ICJ says that it is a genocide, that doesn't mean much to me. It just matters for what the prescriptions are.
By the way,
I mean,
Sev, if
okay,
you
but
wanna
you would say
come
that.
in here and add spice to this conversation, you are free to do so. Or anyone else for that matter. Hangnails, I gave you VIP. You can come in here if you want to. If there are anybody in chat who wants to like contribute and add spice to this conversation, you are free to come in. I am good. I'm far too busy to preoccupy my time with this. Oh, I see how it is. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. You haven't been on Loner's stream lately either. I understand you're busy. It's fine. All right.
ولا شاف روح لفسيخ الشاورما ولا. I told him to
Adi,
go
what?
spin.
Adi, come
Spin
on
the
chat and tell
shawarma.
me what. Adi, come on stream and tell me what you think about Zini.
Oh, is that the Shin Bet head?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I
I
mean,
like him because he has a kippa. That's the only reason to like him.
Stop memeing.
oh my God. I mean, yes, it is very difficult to tell when you are memeing or not memeing. I understand now why David put a not to be taken seriously tag on you in Jucord. It makes total sense.
Oh, he did?
Well,
I didn't notice that.
I thought that he did. I could have swore that he put some sort of tag on you, an unserious tag.
Oh, I didn't notice. No, I don't think that was in Jucord. Maybe it was. I don't remember. Adi's here.
Yes.
I'm here to explain my hatred for Zini.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think the reasons why, I mean, I agree that what Yergalan said was stupid just because it like played into the playbook of him doing exactly what everyone complains that Bibi does, but he is a particularly problematic appointee for multiple reasons. First of all, he has no experience in the Shin Bet, and in a time of heightened security when usually the transition in Khafifa takes about like 6 months. But since Ronen Bar was like leaving immediately, to take somebody from the outside probably wasn't necessarily a smart choice. He also, his brother and the like financial connections that he has to Bibi and his billionaire friends is definitely very suspicious and problematic. He's also made statements in the past, which I mean, I mean, those alone, it's like, okay, they're concerning, but like it's possible that he's moderated. But in the grand scheme of things, that also makes it concerning. The fact that, sorry, 1 second. He never even had a proper interview.
Those statements could be
What?
concerning. Those statements could be concerning to leftists and liberals. Maybe they wouldn't bother me so much. May sound like we need to build the third temple or something like that. That'd be pretty cool and based.
Well, yeah, no, that I don't care about his religious beliefs so much. I think I'm all for more, diversity in all the different jobs and positions. I think that's really good for the country. But his comments about where his loyalties would be, like during the conversations about the judicial reform, about whether the Shabak is meant to be loyal to the country or loyal to the prime minister. He wouldn't clarify like that he would like follow the law necessarily, and that's something that we know that 4 previous Shabak heads have talked about, the fact that they've been asked specifically by the current prime minister to do things that would be illegal and overreaches of power against people who he didn't like, and he would not kind of come down on the side of like, yeah, ultimately he'll do like what's best for the country. So
Oof.
That's not great. The fact that he also didn't have an actual interview, like they just chatted in the back of a car for 5 minutes and then Bibi announced his appointment. Also, I mean, sorry, I'm a little biased, but the fact that Sarah Netanyahu really wanted him to be the Ramakal doesn't make me feel good about him as a person, even if that's not fair.
You and Sarah have beef, personal beef.
Do me and Sarah have personal beef?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Go on.
I just know what type of person, like the type of people that she likes and values and tries to encourage Bibi to hire are generally people that have a lot more loyalty. Like she has a lot of issues when he puts their professionalism above their loyalty to his family. And so it's just concerning. Again, it's not a, clear indictment, and obviously time will have to tell and we'll see what happens, but it's definitely not a good sign in my mind. Yeah, those are my main issues. I have some other slight small ones, but those are the big ones. Especially because the whole thing had, and when it comes to the whole thing with his brother and the money, the reason why that's particularly problematic is because the whole reason why Ronen Bar was fired is because of Qatargate. And his brother manages money for one of the billionaires who's involved with Qatar and all of that.
Hold on, one question.
So it's,
Sorry, because there's so many things here that you just brought up, and none of us. Spider Fire is the pro-Palestinian, like the super pro-Palestinian leftist person that's in my community. And by the way, Fire, if you want to get in the waiting room, you are free to do so, because apparently Addie wanted to talk to you. So anyway, sorry, back up. Addie, when you talk about this stuff, remember, we're all very stupid Westerners. I'm assuming that Qatargate is when was the BB sending the money into the Gaza Strip for Hamas, and how everybody on
No.
the right got pissed about. Oh
no.
Okay.
No, it was
No,
something
no.
with his political aides that were getting money
His
from
two
Qatar.
main advisors who have been with him and his most trusted employees, and also his at the beginning of the war he hired this guy named Eli Feldstein as his spokesperson specifically for army related things. So it all started because he okay, fine, this is a long story, but basically he and someone from the army, from the intelligence, were arrested for stealing confidential documents from the army and leaking them to the press in Germany. And then basically it came out that basically in Israel we have something called, we have a military censor. So anything that that is related to the army has to be approved by the censor before it can be published on any of the press in Israel, in order to make sure that assets are being protected and that no information is being published, putting soldiers in danger, let's say, before they're if they're in the middle of an operation or something like that. So it was, and that doesn't, they don't, things can be leaked and stolen in all sorts of ways, and the censor will still approve of it. It's not about how they got the information. It's just about whether the information is okay to be published or not for safety purposes. And the information, they tried to shop it around to journalists in Israel, and the censor kind of shut it down. So then they went to international press to get it out. And it was around the time that the 6 hostages that had been shot. And it was basically that, remember when Bibi did that whole press conference about how all of a sudden he was convinced that Hamas was trying to smuggle out the hostages into Egypt and then take them to Iran or something like that. So that was a whole scandal because the way the information was gotten was really bad, and public security safety risk and whatever, a whole bunch of things.
Wow.
And then it turns out, what?
Oh, I was just going to say, I did not know that about the hostages. But I mean, I guess there's so much stuff that Bibi probably says in Hebrew media that just never reaches us here.
Yeah, he still, yeah. it's crazy to watch him. Like even when he's like there is something going on in his like people like in the press they'll always compare like his English speech to his Hebrew speech to figure out like what he actually means because like he'll have different messages for different groups of people. But then after that, it also came out a bunch of months later that his two like longtime advisors. Then it also came out later that Ellie Feldstein, who was working in his office and was in I don't know the words in English specifically, but in like there's like a room where they have all the conversation, like
The aquarium.
the aquarium, yeah. That he was in there, and he not only like to be in the aquarium, you have to like have passed a background check from the Shabak, and it's not that they didn't get a background check for him. Like he got multiple background checks and failed all of them, and so they still kept him in. And basically, the way he was being paid was from Jay Futlik, who's an American Jew who is a lobbyist for Qatar, and he was basically paying his salary because he couldn't be paid to work in PB's office because he had failed his background check, like his like he the Shabak had said like he cannot be there. So that was that, and then a little while later it came out that the BB's two like longtime advisors for like 10 or more years, I would say, definitely since 2015, but maybe before that even, that they also have been working for Qatar for a long time. They helped with like the whole FIFA scandal in the EU, and they were working for them continuing throughout the war until 2024. And that was a whole other thing. So now one of them lives in, let's say, Bulgaria, or I don't know, he's out of the country, so he's not whatever, but the other one can't work with him in the office. And there's a lot of drama around that, and the investigation is still ongoing. And so when Ronan Bar announced, like the previous head of the Shin Bet announced that he was opening an investigation into these other workers, not Eli Feldstein, that's when they fired him and put in somebody who his brother is the financial manager for one of BB's very wealthy friends who has a lot of business dealings in Qatar. So
The corruption, that's damn. Okay.
I would never debate D because she always reads stuff. I don't read anything.
Actually, Fire. Wait, is Fire in the waiting room? If Fire wants to come in and talk to and talk to Adi, that's how you pronounced your name. Actually, I will try to say it like that from now on instead of yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, Fire, if you want to come in and talk to her, or actually, wait, Dante, do you and Avi have anything else that you want to say to each other, or is there anything that you guys have said to each other? Like, I guess, what are your guys like hottest takes or whatever? No memeing Avi.
Well,
Okay.
I can give you a list. I support the capital punishment, death penalty. I support
Based.
resistance. I support resistance against the settlers, basically, and yeah, that's my hottest take.
Wait, when you said capital punishment, you meant for collaborators or for like adulterers and stuff like that?
Capital punishment in general, but yeah, certainly for traitors.
He obviously he supports the like implementing of the most hardcore Sharia law. As a Hamas supporter, I'm sure that Dante agrees. Okay, no, I'm done. I'm sorry.
What was that?
Oh well, I mean,
Wait.
isn't that what like I'm just kidding. Isn't that what Hamas did? Didn't they implement like some form of Sharia law in Gaza or something? Probably, or whatever. Like I think that wasn't that a thing that they did.
Didn't you have the debate with Teuton
Against
about
what?
them killing collaborators?
Yeah, I did. Except Teuton's argument was stupid, and then Sev came in and yelled at Teuton.
So what's Dante's argument now?
I think Dante has a more nuanced view on it that's not as informed by stupid retardation as Dante's is, or as Teuton's ones. But anyway, go on, Dante. You can, yeah.
I mean, my take was that as a de facto statement, Israel is a enemy of the Palestinian people and aspirations of a Palestinian state. So collaboration with Israel in a lot of ways, not always, is treason. And to me, treason is punishable by death. Now, as far as Hamas goes, that's basically just an excuse to target anti-Hamas protesters, anti-Hamas sentiment within clans, and it's basically just a wide brush they use to paint people that are against them. So I don't support 90%, 85% of the executions and punishments they've been doing, because I'm almost certainly certain that most of them have been done to people that are just anti-Hamas and have been forced to collaborate. And that's also another thing, that most of these collaborations that happen, I would say that they're being coerced to do this by Israel by like immoral ways, whether it be gay Palestinians, whether it be basically bribing the Palestinians to leave and give up information, or torture, allegedly. So yeah, in those situations, I would not be calling for the death of someone who's been coerced or tortured to give information out. But if you voluntarily give information for basically you sold out the people and sold out the Palestinians for money or for promises of yeah, I believe that is a form of treason.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not
Is that
as,
fair?
yeah.
My most extreme take is that we should build the third temple right now as soon as possible. I'm not even memeing, actually.
Hell no.
Wait, what? But how would that even work? Like,
Doesn't have to be on Al-Aqsa. It could be next to it.
oh,
There's plenty of space there.
Oh, if you just want to, okay, well, yeah, because I mean that's not even that controversial. If you don't want to like tear down Al-Aqsa in order to build the third temple, then like it's whatever. Like just build the third temple next to Al-Aqsa or something, you know?
Well, I would have to like ask a rabbi if there's an option of building it nearby. If not, then I say we gather like $50 billion and give it to the Palestinians and have them move it like
What the fuck?
like 50 meters to the right or something like that.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm just going to say that that might be your most like religiously controversial take too. I'm pretty sure halakhically
Yeah,
there's like
I know.
a lot of debate on the subject.
I'm actually,
But
I
we
don't know.
don't
I
have
don't
to
think
make this up.
I actually know that Rav Aviner said that it should be okay to have a mosque next to the
Of
temple.
course
It
he
should-
would say
not an
that.
issue.
That's our Bobby nurse. All he wants is another temple. But I'm
Who
pretty sure
doesn't
you
want
would
another
piss off a
temple? What are
lot
you
of the
talking about?
Haredim. The Haredim would get
Yeah,
very mad.
Yeah, okay. Didn't work out. I'm not really concerned with the Haredim's opinions, with all due respect,
I'm just-
which is not.
As their spokesperson, I'm just conveying the message. That's all.
Can you steelman them, by the way?
According to them, Mashiach has to come before you can build another temple, and Mashiach hasn't come.
No, I'm steelman them in general, I guess.
Yeah. Happily. I mean, not happily,
Okay.
but easily.
Right, they're
Well-
protesting about like conscription. I saw that in the
Right.
news
Yeah.
earlier today. I think a kid got killed in Jerusalem, and like as part of the,
Apparently
during their big
he
march.
Unrelated to the march, he
attempted.
committed
Yeah.
suicide.
Oh.
That he just kind of used because a lot of them, like, we're going to go into that building anyway, so he had access. But
Ooh.
Was he even
Okay.
Haredi?
yeah,
Okay. He had access to Instagram, apparently.
a lot of them do.
Fake Haredim.
Damn.
They call
My
themselves.
brother
Haredi
doesn't even
for
have
that.
My brother's Haredi and he doesn't even have a Nokia.
Yeah, it's okay. No one in my family has WhatsApp either. It's very annoying.
There you go. Very based.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be Haredi, do it all the way.
Leif Tahor doesn't live too chill.
I mean, what if Trump builds a third temple? The second temple was built by Herod after all.
Really, we would have to call it Trump Temple
Oh no.
Yeah.
with a big logo.
You'd have to put a big statue of him outside. That would be weird and awkward.
We don't
Uh,
do statues in
Oh,
Judaism, so
we'll have to find an
we
alternative.
have an
to the
exemption for that
statue.
one. Yeah,
That's gotta be blasphemy.
Maybe it would be
exactly.
a 3D projected fake statue or something.
We can just have him. You know how they have like the dedications walls in every shul?
Oh
So
yeah,
like he can have his own really big plaque,
yeah.
Oh my
bigger
With a
god.
than all of
picture
the
of him.
Holocaust survivors together, or the victims.
Wow. That's actually like I feel like he would just a golden Trump statue in the shape of a calf. Oh my god.
If we can make this happen, if we can make that, I think he would definitely go for it.
Well, yeah.
Ask Jared Kushner to give him the idea.
Oh,
I'm sure Jared wants nothing more in the world.
Wait, there was something that we were saying before I read that
You
comment.
inspired her to come debate with a D.
Oh, yes, fire. Come on. If you don't want to, it's fine. Insomniac said he will become anti-Semitic. Oh
To
my-
smack who, me?
No. Insomniac said he will become anti-Semitic probably because of
Oh,
Trump.
Oh, okay. I
If
thought
Trump
because of
built the
me.
temple,
Yeah, if Trump was the one who made the temple. Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
probably would too.
No, yeah, what's the law about though? Like the conscription thing? Did they actually I know the Supreme Court ruled that they have to be included in it, but are they advancing? I heard also that they are advancing a law through the Knesset to annex the West Bank, but Times of Israel said it was unlikely to go through all the way, so it probably
Yeah, it
doesn't.
won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big
The
reason,
same
a
thing
big
with
part of the reason that they wanted to do the whole judicial reform, or that the Haredim were on board with the judicial reform, because
the only
they
reason
knew
they
that
got on with it. Yeah.
any conscription law would also have to go through Supreme Court, and they needed to flip over some stuff so that they can force it through
We need to
anyways.
circumvent that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because equality is lame, according to them.
It really is, but for different reasons.
Okay, yeah, so because that's just been a big thing. Oh, hey, Funky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for people who like to keep the debate going. I feel like Fire's like the most spicy person that we have. Yes, Chase, I know you're in the waiting room, but like I don't want to just like have this be like a chill convo. I was trying to find I need you people to start arguing, damn it. Or I need to find people more to sort of argue with. But Fire seems to be the most like kind of crazy pro-Palestine person that we have in this community. And I don't even know if I want to say like crazy pro-Palestine or whatever, but or pro-Palestine. Fire's not even pro-Hamas either, which is Dante hella outnumbered.
He was actually like good faith, even though I disagree with him. He was actually good.
If you want to make this a big debate, we can probably just turn it to Israeli politics and things will get intense.
Oh, if you guys start,
we can
I
talk
don't
about
think
that.
anyone else will
I'll
find
take
that
with Abby
entertaining at
about-
all.
Yeah.
Kalinda, did you expect me to have more edgy takes?
I mean, yeah, kind of I did, but I don't know. Like obviously I have no idea. I don't know what to make of you because you are so edgy in text chat and half the time it's like you are memeing and I don't know if you are memeing and there's just so much stuff and yeah, I don't know. Yes, people think that you are mask on and I have no idea if that's the case or not and like it just kind of got weird with the I don't know.
The jury's out on you.
Yeah.
Wait, they said that now in the chat, or like in general?
No, I mean prior to that, because it's why you got like that's part of what got you banned from Loner Core, because you kept making jokes about things, and after a while people started to get annoying. No, Fire, not you. Fire, you are not like mask on or whatever.
Avi's a good man, he's right.
I like how Fire's decided both of you are awesome. Even though he like I'm pretty sure he probably disagrees with you both. But anyway, yeah, go on, people.
Say something, chat.
I wanted to explain the annexation thing because people are like misunderstanding that like completely. It was proposed by the opposition to troll Bibi during the American visit and to make like JD Vance purposely mad at them, and the opposition succeeded. Okay, there needs to be like 2 more votes to get it through, and they're not planning on voting on it anymore, so it's not going to happen. It was just like a whole political tactic
Wait,
thing.
really? That's really fun. What the okay.
Yeah, that's something that happens a lot in Israel, actually.
Yeah.
Politics is a
Especially because
game
he
here.
did that to Biden when he was Obama's VP. So it was like a deep lore kind of meme.
Yeah. Damn. That is
I think
funny.
there's a law that says that if the Knesset suggests a law, if someone suggests a law and it falls, it basically doesn't pass, they can't suggest it again for half a year. So there is something that happens often, which is if the opposition sees that the coalition is struggling to get enough votes for a law, they'll suggest it themselves just to force them to push it off. I think this happened during Bennett's government, at least with one thing. I don't remember what it was.
It also happened during recently with the dissolution of the Knesset. The opposition, even though they knew it wouldn't pass, they brought up the law to dissolve the Knesset, so the Haredis can't do it in order to put pressure on Bibi to come up with a enlistment law for Haredis. Like they took that card off the table for them by putting it up themselves and failing.
Wait, what? Why is pushing off the possibility of dissolving the Knesset be good for Bibi? Be bad for Bibi?
It would be bad for. They didn't want the Haredis to pressure Bibi to get a conscription law by threatening to to dissolve the Knesset. So they failed it on purpose. So they can't threaten that for half a year.
So the Haredis, so that's good for Bibi.
That's good for Bibi, but it also means that the
Good for the
Haredis have to
country.
be recruited. Yeah, it's good for the country because the Haredis have to be
Bibi
recruited.
would,
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Also,
And it's
like,
good for the
Bibi in
opposition
theory-
because it like creates internal pressure between Bibi and the Haredis. So yeah.
It also,
Yeah, it's all a game.
if Bibi wanted to pass a bad conscription law to keep the Haredim happy, he could have said that they were threatening to collapse the coalition as like a justification to his base that would be accepted. But this way, it makes it a lot harder for him to do something like that and justify it to his base, and it keeps the issue like at the forefront. So
Right, just to make it clear, the dissolution of the Knesset counts as a law. So, like what I said before, if they would have to bring it up again in half a year.
Yeah, exactly. That was the tactic. Yeah.
Wait, when you say dissolution of the Knesset, you mean like when you dissolve the parliaments, you call an election? Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
So
rule. You can't bring a law back like for a year if you've introduced it. That's an interesting
it's to avoid spamming, basically. It's like Discord slow mode.
Yeah, that's in some ways I feel like that's not a bad idea.
We actually have some good things. Like even like also if they can't pass a budget, there has to be elections. We don't have government shutdowns like in America, so we have some like protections like that. Yeah.
Chase, if you have questions about the leaks, you can ask them like in chat or whatever. When you talk about the recent leaks, I assume you're referring to the Sedate Tayman stuff. I don't even know how to say it. It's such a weird word.
No, you said it correctly.
Sedate Tayman. Okay.
Yeah, you said it correctly.
Thanks,
Yeah, the right is just scapegoating one of the woman that leaked it to the press.
Yeah,
the whole scandal.
She's a lawyer for the IDF, and she resigned. Right?
Yeah. And they're trying to blame like the whole incident on her and saying that like she did it for publicity or something in order to gain legitimacy and shit. Like, it's a whole BB bullshit tactic.
Wasn't that the one where
meanwhile the case was already like the evidence was already submitted to the court and like the case was already ongoing when it was leaked? So
yeah.
Oh,
it's just bullshit.
Yeah, She said, Chase said, wasn't that the one where far-right Israelis broke in to free the accused? Yeah, that was a long time
Mhm.
ago, though. They were
They tried. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the same people who were doing the quote unquote right to rape protest. I don't know if it's fair to actually call it. I feel like it. I'm assuming that their actual argument was that the people that did it didn't actually do that, and that it was all fake, and that they were being slandered, and that they are good people serving the government or whatever, or serving their country.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that?
It was more
that's the claim,
like,
yeah.
why are you using your energy to like
That's definitely not the claim.
investigate our own soldiers when we have like hostages?
No, that's
kind of
the
thing.
Yeah.
I meant that's the claim from the far right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's less about them being like, oh yeah, like as in if you really push them, then that's what they'll say. But it's really more about like, why is that what you're focusing on?
Okay.
Yeah, they'll admit they
Like
did it.
these people are
but
like
they'll
putting their
like
lives at risk
exclusion-
to like protect us,
Yeah.
and like, yeah.
Yeah, because
One of them's wife divorced him, I think, one of the accused. One of the indicted, not accused. Which makes sense. I would also divorce my husband if he did that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, like okay, so nobody was actually really saying that. Although I also heard that apparently various different types of interrogation/torture methods got debated in the Knesset as a result of like this whole thing happened. But like I don't know, all of this stuff that we keep hearing is just this is what leftists say about it, and I feel like that's probably not necessarily an accurate reading of it.
It's not a sanctioned
definitely,
interrogation
like-
tactic. It was just sodomizing a
Yeah.
Hamas member because they felt like it. That's
Yeah.
like that's what happens. Yeah.
So like there are people
torture is
like there was someone on the
pretty common.
news who was like they're terrorists. We could do whatever we want to them. Like that's definitely something that people will say, but like that's not really the mainstream position, and that's also not really where most of like the frustration and anger is coming from, even if it kind of does imply that in half of the cases where they're not really saying that anyways, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's entirely. Yeah, okay. That makes sense because I kind of figured that it wasn't going to be. I mean, obviously like those people are still really far. And Somniac said it was like 30 people, not the Israelis. Yeah. Cuz I'm assuming
Yeah.
those same people, a lot of them are probably like I think wasn't like Ben-Gvir or Smotrich, like didn't he take part in that protest? Wasn't one of them?
One of their people did.
Sukkot.
Yeah, my boy.
So like Knesset members have like immunity for certain like law violations, so they couldn't arrest him for breaking into the base. So that's why he did it, like a publicity.
I'm not
But
sure
he is
this
being
is included.
investigated now.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah,
was a
It's,
time-
it's IVF
It's not?
property.
Don't
No,
they have like
where
they,
he was,
they can't force him.
violations? Yeah.
There was a time where he
It's like-
lost his position as a Knesset member for a short amount of time, and then he got it
okay.
back.
Okay.
But
So I'm not sure if
also
the
because,
investigation is ongoing.
That is
the investigation
funny.
is ongoing, and
Yeah, okay.
they can investigate, like with Tali Gottlieb and Shikma Boesler's husband and all of that. They just can't force them to come to like sit in interrogation or like be questioned or anything like that. So she's just like refusing to show up for these things. And so like because what's his name, Milvitsky, let's say he showed up to his investigations, even though he's also a member of Knesset. But once they're out of the Knesset, then they're not like immune from that part of it, basically.
It's also not like blanket immunity. It's like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it has,
Was
like specific like exceptions, like for freedom of movement in like places that the government usually doesn't allow people to move and stuff like that.
Was there
Like protest.
is it true that one of the perpetrators in the whole torture thing went on television and got interviewed? Because I kept hearing that, but I think Sev said that it was actually a relative of one of them.
And I think it was his brother.
Yeah. Okay,
I don't watch
that's-
Channel 14, so I don't know. I can't handle
Why
that
would
much.
you automatically
rage bait.
assume that it's Channel 14?
Oh, it's because I said that.
Am I wrong?
And it probably would have
No,
been
you're
them.
absolutely right.
It definitely was.
No, there's no chance it would be any other.
Yeah, I opened
Anywhere
Channel
else.
14 recently to watch BB's like speech and announcement, and I had to shut it off because the crowd was chanting like "BB King of Israel, alive, alive," and
Yeah.
shit like that.
See,
It's
even
so
you watch
triggering, that
Channel
stuff.
14 more than I do.
That was the cutest. The best thing in Tel Aviv was in the beginning of the war. one of my neighbors is like a 6th grade girl, and we ran into the miklat, and we were talking about the different channels, and someone said something about channel 14, and she's like, "There's a channel 14." Like, we definitely live in Tel Aviv.
Do you guys have like cable packages that you have to pay for there, where you have to pay so much a month to get like cable TV or what have you, or is it all like just if you have a TV that you is it like free, or like can you stream these channels on their websites, or how does that work? I know this is completely unrelated now, but I'm curious.
There's like I think 6 free channels, but there's like 2 main like cable providers that give you packages and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But all the
It's-
apps are. You can also watch them all for free. Like, there's no. Their apps are just like
Oh, yeah, the
downloadable.
apps are
And there's
free.
no like
Yeah. Well, they have ads, but yeah.
Of course.
yeah.
Everyone has ads. That's kind of interesting. That's just to see how much I mean, I guess it's very similar to America or Canada
about
in that
football?
way, but yeah. Except for the being able to watch
But
it all
with
for
an
free.
extra,
Right.
Payment
Sports
package.
you have to pay for,
Of
but
yeah,
course.
you have to pay extra.
all like the
for
news is free.
No, you just get a IPTV receiver and you got everything.
sport.
Wait, Dante, do you know about this IPTV stuff? Because if you do, you're gonna have to like explain or tell me about it. Because I might want in on that maybe one day. But
Oh, it's super popular in the Middle East. It's like the thing, and people just bring it over all the time. Basically, you got all channels, sports, every country, everything. But you gotta have like solid internet connection.
oh, I have solid internet connection. Not as solid as Sev's. I own an ISP and therefore have the best internet ever internet connection. But I mean, it seems like you guys have really good internet in Israel too, just based on seeing that. Well, except for Insomniac, whose cable box got denied aid, or whose router got denied aid, and then he couldn't stream or he couldn't use internet. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what. Yeah, I guess I did think you were going to be more radical than I thought, like Avi, because like people were saying stuff about like about the settlements, or I guess like a real question would be is what the hell do you do about the settlements in the West Bank? Because there's 700,000 people there, and a large portion of them have guns, and I don't know if there's
That's a
going to be
solid
any
question.
dislodging those people, especially the craziest ones.
The question is, does Abby think that you should dislodge those people?
I think in this potential hypothetical situation that Dante and I discussed earlier, where there is actually good faith from both sides, it's hard to imagine how it would happen. The ideal would be that the settlements will be pulled out just for I guess a de-radicalizing time span that gives both sides a chance to prove good faith, and then after the Palestinian state is established, then they would allow the Jews from the settlements to go back and get Palestinian citizenship. If they feel safe, it's like very iffy, because I doubt they would want to, and I doubt they would even agree to pull out in the first place. Like it wouldn't go smoothly. Absolutely not.
Yeah, which settlers though are you talking about? Because like that's the other thing too, right? Is I would imagine it usually what people talk about is that they're saying most of the settlements would stay, like the ones that are along the Green Line, and then they would just do land swaps. But then there's ones like Ariel and the outposts that are like real deep in there. Except my understanding is that Ariel as a settlement is the people who live there are not like all crazy radicals, and that like and that they're pretty chill. I don't know if that's true or not, but
It's
yeah.
also
Mostly true,
not
yeah.
that deep. It's also not that deep.
Ariel
land
is
swap
Ariel is
for
very
Ariel.
close to like Tel Aviv area. It's mostly those kinds of people. Maybe a little bit more like left, a little bit less lefty than the center. I think the main point that bothers me is the fact that maybe Dante can answer this. Why is the existence of Jews in the land make it impossible to create a state?
In the West Bank, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, go on, Dante.
I mean, for me, ideally, it's not, but I can understand why other people might think it's an issue of sovereignty, of establishing like a land, like a say in that, like what's the word, self-determination. And I feel like Arabs should have like a right to have some form of self-determination, at least in the beginning. Like the Arab Palestinians should be not forced to, assimilate or have people assimilate to this future hypothetical state. I believe it's like should be a work in progress type of thing.
Um, you think
Avi,
you mean
would
you think that
would
you
you
think
allow
that during
the
the
other way
inception?
around? Avi,
Hold on a
like,
second. You think at the
sorry.
inception of the Palestinian state there shouldn't be any Jews, and then it could
No,
be an idea introduced later. Is that what you mean?
I mean not like depends on what areas we're talking about. We're talking about all the lands and the settlements, the 67 lands.
I'm talking about within 67 borders, West Bank.
I mean, ideally, like what I would say is that the Jewish that were the Jewish population that was already there wouldn't have to move or do anything like that. But in the case of establishing a Palestinian state in the lands that in the lands that the settlements exist, that would be potential land swaps, handing over the settlements to Palestinians that are going to be coming in. Yeah, I do believe the beginning that it should be somewhat like separated, if that's the right word.
Um,
Mainly for like safety, like security issues, especially since like this hypothetical state and land is going to be like demilitarized.
Honestly, I don't even think it needs to be demilitarized. But like, we can talk about that another time. Insomniac, what was your question? Sorry, Funky Tortoise, right? Funky, you had a question?
Yeah. 'Cause,
No.
like if you're saying like that we should do that for settlers, like eventually let them live there back. Like, do you want to do that with Palestinians as well? Just like give them right of return eventually, and
Like I'm assuming this is all a give and take.
uh,
Right? It goes both
yeah,
ways.
have
Well-
them live in the north, because I think like at least for like the first, I don't know, more than couple of decades, you'll want to separate everybody and not let anybody come here or there, just to like calm the shit down.
I think
I think it's easier to compare it to actual Israel Inception, which already had a bunch of Arabs in it. No.
that's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
but
Yeah,
but
that's what
but,
you
but
had.
what happens if Arabs become the majority in Israel because of that? Are you
What do
okay
you
with
mean?
that? Because you're saying let the Jews stay in the West Bank. So when we eventually solve the crisis, then all of the Palestinian refugees are going to come back.
No, I didn't say. I think there should be a right of return.
Okay, but
why should there
that's
be a right of stay?
kind of uneven, right? That's like what I'm saying. It's like it's kind of uneven then.
I don't think it's uneven. I don't know. I didn't say that all Jews should return to West Bank, or all Jews that I don't know. Well, I understand the comparison that you're trying to make. It's not the comparison that I'm making.
Okay.
It's vibes.
Can I ask a question? Avi, for you, is this like, at least in part, about Hebron? Because I know that that's a big deal in Judaism, like as a religious site.
I think most of I did do like a poll recently. I didn't get enough data. I got like 40 responses by settlers in West Bank asking them why they want to live there. The options were, cheaper housing. Some of it was because of the commandment to settle the land, and there was also to increase security. I don't know if they could actually answer the question what that means, but one of them, I guess the fourth to most popular response was the most popular response was because of the religious commandment. I think the third was to prevent a Palestinian state. So the thing is that like all of it is basically part of the commandment. so Hebron is only important because of the Tomb of the Patriarchs, which is fair, and there is a sentiment of living nearby. I think the more important part is the option of visitation, which would mean, I guess, that in a potential two-state solution, I would at least expect that the Palestinian government would allow Jews into those locations. Also, there's the tomb of Joseph in Shechem, which I would also like to have access to. Me personally, not because I'm
I mean,
I'm a
I'd like to
Cohen, so that
hear
means I
that.
can't
That's
visit.
absolutely a de-radicalization effort that Palestinians can do on their side.
Yeah, like I think I came up with this like a while ago, where both sides need to make a list of things that they want the other side to do without crazy stuff like right of return, just small things. And then the process would be that, I don't know, 1 year, each side takes a year and does one of the things from the list. Then we give it a year to see how it goes and to see that nothing explodes, and then continue that way, like some kind of zipper effort, good faith effort.
I mean,
So
that's not the worst thing I ever heard. Honestly, that's a very good idea.
like it
It's a
gives
good way to start.
both sides.
I feel like if you keep the settlers there, the settlements, the fighting will just continue. Like it will just come up again. How are you gonna convince like Yitzhar and like give up Hebron, Dromar Hebron,
This
and settlements like that to stop like harassing
same as
Palestinians?
you
How do you
convince.
convince like the PIJ to stop like attacking the settlements? Like how do you do that? I don't.
Same as you
get it.
convince the Palestinians that they don't have to hate Jews. It's a thing. It's a process.
What
Yeah, but
about if like I think the issue is that there are certain settlers who, like the craziest settlers, like what's that guy's name? I can't remember. The guy who's like in charge of Hebron, the one that Loner and Destiny interviewed.
Yishai Fleischer,
Yeah, him.
yeah.
Like those guys all
based.
they've all got
I'm kidding too.
guns. I now I know you're memeing, or at least I'm assuming that you
Yeah.
are.
No,
The thing is,
they don't have nearly enough guns to not be evacuated by the IDF. That's not a problem at all.
They're they're
Well,
mostly allowed to have pistols. In some cases, they're allowed to have rifles that they get from the IDF or from the police.
when I say they all have
And it's a
guns,
small amount.
what I mean is not like about that it would mean the IDF couldn't like remove them. I mean that my worry is that like if a lot of those people are like the most radical people. Like I feel like if anyone's going to be able to stay in the West Bank and continue to live there, it probably shouldn't be the people who are harassing Palestinians and killing their cattle and burning down like their olive trees and destroying their houses and shit, you know?
Right.
that hits the nail
So-
on the head. Like that part of the issue of the settlements and the settlers is the people who are living there. It's not because they want to live closer to the Palestinians. It's more like because they want to remove the Palestinians from there and prevent the Palestinian state. And I understand there's religious sentiments and religious significance in the land, but most of the people who are living there, it's not because it's an
I don't like
ideological
that
thing,
you think,
mostly.
Avi, that we
Yeah, it's-
can like de-radicalize people. Like I don't see, like you say, like yeah, it's a process, but I don't see that process existing. I think forced separation is the only way.
Right.
to
So
ever
this is
achieve
what
peace.
this is what I touched on earlier, that I could at least potentially suggest a path for de-radicalizing Palestinians, which I don't see as easily for the Israelis, because the Israelis aren't as oppressed as the Palestinians are. But
Yeah.
it's hard to know, because whatever. If I had to say, like, some of the places, I'm sure there are people in Yitzhar who aren't crazy. I'm sure that I think Dante's wrong about those settlers. A vast majority of the settlers aren't there to fuck shit up for the Palestinians. They're there because of religious sentiment. A lot of them have good relationships with Palestinians. Like it's not like a Wild West sort of Indians versus Cowboys thing. It's only there. It's only like that in some specific locations,
No, I
like the ones
understand
where
that completely. I understand that most of them are not violent at all, and most of the settlers are not going out there and making life difficult, although a lot of them are, and certainly some of the younger generations.
The
What I'm
hilltop
saying is that,
youth.
yeah,
no.
but
So
the
there could
settlements
so
themselves are that tool of oppression, are that tool of displacement and the erasure of the Palestinian state. So even though some of the settlers themselves might not be violent or malicious toward the Palestinians or wish the Palestinians any harm, but that activity of settlement is actively doing harm.
so what if we said that one of the good faith actions from the Israeli side was a complete settlement freeze? For starters, a later good faith action would be some kind of background check for anyone who wants to still remain in the settlements. And anyone who wants to move into the settlements will also have to go through some Shin Bet background check.
I mean, this in the current situation right now that we're talking about, not this hypothetical context, that would be great. Like more accountability, more background checks, more of that stuff, 100%. But when we're talking about a future Palestinian state, I don't feel like off the bat, forced assimilation. I don't feel like off the bat that's going to be a working strategy.
I just want to clarify
major
about the
concessions.
Hilltop Youth quickly. One, they're not just because they're called the Hilltop Youth doesn't necessarily mean they're youth. Some of them are well into their 40s and 50s, but also not all of them actually live in the West Bank. Some of them are just like
instigators,
bad people who do bad shit, and they just like come in to make problems and go back over the green line. So
oh, you mean like because anyone can take whatever some
anyone can go.
Yeah, anybody can go into the West Bank, including like a random person with a bunch of guns. Like, is that like, well, the idea, like, they don't even care? Do they even check you if you're going in, if you have the right license plate?
Technically, random person can only have one gun, but you can have a bunch of random people going in, yeah.
Right, it just be a bunch of like asshole teenagers too, or adults. Like it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why there's a Shin Bet.
Problem.
There's
a Shin Bet sector for Jewish terrorism. They try to prevent
which was shut down.
Seb is here.
It was shut down.
There is nothing stopping you from going into from Israel into the West Bank and committing a terror attack on a Palestinian area.
Exactly.
Nothing.
That's what I was trying to say.
There is nothing.
They don't even check you on the way in.
There's no checking on the way.
Yeah.
The road is open. There's no checkpoint or anything while you're going in. The only time there's some checkpoints from the PA into Palestinian villages, into like while you're inside the Palestinian village, they're like it's just like two cop cars or two like government cars with like a bunch of Palestinian police. It's like, but there's no checkpoints that prevent settlers from going anywhere.
I think.
Okay.
I think this is the like. I think, Avi, this is probably like where the real core of people's disagreements probably lies, is the fact that is like your take that settlers or some of the settlers should be allowed to stay in the West Bank or what have you.
If they're allowed to stay in the West, in my opinion, you can say that they're allowed to stay, as long as you're also allowing for Palestinians to freely traverse into Israel.
Exactly.
Freely.
The settlements in the way they exist are the problem. Or the
Palestinians in the West Bank should be able to live wherever the fuck they want in Israel. They should be able to travel wherever the fuck in Israel. They should, if you want settlements, and you can argue about the security concerns. Well, settlers are also a security concern. Well, quite a big safety concern for a lot of Palestinians. Their existence there is just a safety concern for all Palestinians. They've burned villages. They've like attacked people. They've kidnapped people. They've killed people. That is a safety concern. If it was happening to Israelis, we would have seen change immediately.
That's what I was trying to get at earlier when I said like if you're allowing like Israelis to go freely into the West Bank, I don't see how you're not going to allow like Palestinians to do the same in Israel, and that's why it's never going to work, and we have to do.
Okay,
forced
but you guys interpreted what I said wrong. The thing that I'm trying to prevent is further displacement, which I think makes sense to try to prevent, right? Just like we don't like the Nakba, we shouldn't take out 700,000 settlers from their homes, even though, yeah, we can say that they're all evil and they took land that's not theirs, etc., etc. But the reality is that for the two-state solution that everybody is gooning about, we would have to do another Nakba, basically.
No
And I think a
one's-
solution... What?
No one's saying to take out all 700,000, though. Like we just said, the majority of the settlements would probably stay because they're on the Green Line, and you just do land swaps.
300,000 of them is like around Jerusalem. It's like 300,000 of them is like around Jerusalem. The amount that is inside, deep in the West Bank, amounts to like around 100K.
I don't know. Efrat, do you count that as deep in the West Bank?
What is it?
Efrat.
Yeah, Efrat will have to
Neve
go.
Daniel.
Efrat will have to go. I
Yeah,
don't
there's
know
a lot of
Neve
people in
Daniel, but
Efrat.
Like
Efrat was
Carnation
also
Mall.
built in
I'm
a
sorry, but
particularly dickish
that
and
is-
assholeish
Can I
way,
say something?
purposely closing
Let me see.
Palestinian.
Yeah, exactly.
I just feel like there's some sentiment on the Israeli side, and I feel like this is something that Avi.
No, I think you understood me wrong though. My
No,
point
I know what
isn't.
you're saying. I just feel like concession to some Israelis is not the big. It's not a
No,
talent you guys
but
have.
my point wasn't that Jews should have the right to continue settling a Palestinian, state that's already existing. The point is to minimize the people that are being forced out of their homes. If that means that we, let's say, make a list of names, only these Jews, at least for the time being, are allowed to live in the West Bank, in Gaza, in Palestine, sorry. And after a while, when there's de-radicalization, I even conceded about a one-state solution earlier. I don't think I'm going to complain about letting Palestinians roam around Israel, just like I wouldn't complain about Jews roaming around Palestine after we know, after 50 years from now, or 100 years from now, we know that nobody's going to be violent anymore, and we have economic prosperity and peace.
You're never gonna have a time ever where nobody's gonna be violent.
No, this was in the
just-
context of something we were talking
hold
about.
on. The fact is like if one terror attack happened in the span of 10 years from Palestinians, that will be used as justification to continue the status quo from Israelis. That is just reality.
We're in imagination land. We're talking about all this
we
stuff.
were doing like hypotheticals earlier, Sev, about like how like we talk about things like probably one of the key things to peace is going to be to have Palestinian and Israeli children go to school together, and to like the two peoples need to have more exposure to each other.
Unfortunately, after October 7th, that's been a fucking retarded like situation too, because racism has.
Oh, I know. I agree.
It's not just that. It's not just kids being kids. It's the like administration of those schools expelling the Arab kids.
Yeah, no, that
for their safety. Supposedly for their safety.
Yeah,
explain the Arab kids who are being targeted for racism for their safety.
I know.
The majority racist children that were just shouting like "May your villages burn" and shit, and also having like teachers actually teach like psycho fucking material in classrooms about how Arabs are always gonna kill you no matter what. It's like.
Yeah, I know. I know it's hard. Like we were, and obviously, right now, like I feel like in terms of like relations between the two peoples, it's never been this bad. It's so much worse probably than it's ever been, except maybe like in 1948, but or the 50s. But I guess
in the context of the conversation, it sounds like Sev agrees with Avi on the black pill.
Yep, even worse than me, maybe.
No. Not necessarily, no. I'm just like, in my opinion, this whole notion about letting settlers stay in the West Bank for like 50 years so Palestinians have to bear the brunt of like the sacrifice of it until they're allowed to be into Israel. No, just get the settlers out.
Why is it a sacrifice? Why is it a sacrifice?
It is a sacrifice because they still don't have freedom of movement. They don't have their freedom of rights. Anything.
I didn't say the IDF has to stay there.
What?
No, he's
I
talking.
didn't say the
He's
IDF has to
he's.
stay there.
Avi was saying that Avi was saying like, why can't some settlers like be allowed to stay in the West Bank in the same way that like 48 Arabs didn't get all kicked out of Israel after
That's
the 1948
48.
war?
No, because this stupid notion that Israel allowed us to stay in because we didn't do anything is stupid. Because they tried to get rid of us in 1956 too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know.
What the fuck? It's not that Israel we were allowed to stay. It's that they couldn't get rid of us. They either had to try and get rid of us, which they didn't successfully work, or they had to genocide us. Like,
And why?
that's
Why do you?
literally-
How easy do you think it's going to be to get rid of all the settlers?
It's not gonna be easy, and Israel did that by
Yeah.
design.
Okay.
Israelis did that
Yeah,
by design. They
design.
made it hard to get rid of settlers to make it impossible for a Palestinian state to emerge.
And
But
so,
here, Israel's gonna have to brunt the amount of fucking bullshit that's gonna come with getting rid of the settlers because they are the ones that put themselves in that position. Tough shit.
And that's what I mean by
Okay.
major concessions need to be made on the Israeli side. And I'm not saying the thing is major concessions need to be on the Palestinian side, but that's ideological. But on the Israeli side, it's more like half ideological and mostly, honestly, material, like on the ground change.
like, I understand why Sev is so blackpilled, even more than me.
Wait, do you think, Sev, do you think you're more like, Sev, you think that like you've talked about like things that could be done in order for there to be and that I think you said the first thing that needs to start happening is there needs to actually be like equal like justice needs to be meted out equally, like in the West Bank, for example. It shouldn't be like if you're a settler and you do some fucked up shit.
Complete first step. IDF needs a reform.
Oh yeah,
Complete reform. Administration, generals, everything needs to be changed where they cannot have a bias towards settlers doing violence and then watch them and then be surprised when there's terror attacks from Palestinians. You can't have that system in place right now and then expect for things to go ahead when the IDF is the exact same since 1948 till now. They still murder Palestinians without any punishment. There's still not a single case of an Israeli soldier actually being punished for murder of Palestinians. The fucking longest sentence is my village, and even then it went from 15 years to 3 years, and then he was promoted and given plenty of fucking money. So yeah, no, he was never punished. He was slapped on the wrist for massacring people, which was also a plan that the state proposed at some point. Just so we're clear, the state just threw him under the bus.
I don't think the people themselves are too much of the problem. I think it's the policy that's like giving down from the government. So first step would probably be to change this fucking government. And what have you said about black people?
Funky. There's
What?
many ways to address the settler fucking issue. You either reform the IDF or withdraw the IDF. If those settlers let it be.
That's what I was about to say about
that situation.
To Avi, it's like I'm done with like trying to get like any lofty solutions. Like we have to be pragmatic to solve this as fast as possible. And the only pragmatic thing to do is to fucking separate the two people and like do as much land swaps as you can and get out, build a wall, don't interact with each other for 30 years so a bunch of generations grow up not hating each other and not fighting, and that's it.
There's many things you can start doing that like without even removing settlements, like allowing Palestinians to build shit. Like they still can't build shit.
Also, give the PA their money, god damn it. Holy crap. They've got like there's like $1 billion plus dollars that should be paid to them. They can't do
most
anything.
of it needs to be kicked
It's
out
not just
of the
that.
office
Also,
and
they are also literally just robbing the PA plan. PA pays Israel sometimes for electricity and water, and Israel only supplies half the week for water.
Yeah, I think
Like
the problem is these issues have been like really like systemic and like been the way that Israel's been operating for such a long time. And then on top of that, in this current government, it's gone like exponentially crazier. But it's not as if like the previous situation was all that good. And that being said, like the first step is going to have to be replacing this government because no one else will be like they're not going to enact any of these policies, but that's also not enough. And I think that's like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
I completely agree. And just if we take it out of the hypothetical we were talking about, yeah, that's the first thing that needs to be made is a new open-minded, moderate government, at least when it comes to the Palestinian issue, needs to come in first and do major reforms within the IDF, within the settlements. That's like the first baby steps.
The
Well, you're
IDF.
talking.
a question for
We're all
Lisa.
talking about these as the first steps, but we're all like hypothesizing this on further steps to come along that like would put us even in the mindset. Would put the two people even in the mindset to go there.
Oh,
Um,
also, hold on. Vanaloven says in
Yeah.
chat, specifically, Funky, you probably read that where he said that the younger Gazans who hadn't met Israelis were worse, according to the hostages, and some amount of
makes
contact
sense.
is necessary. Yeah, but it also makes sense if you're growing up in Gaza too, right? I mean,
Well,
you saw- yeah.
no. It's not just that. It's specifically when you have less interaction with a group of people and you get fed this propaganda. The propaganda,
A lot
like this is
easier
why
to dehumanize.
it's so much easier to
You get
dehumanize.
fed the bombs.
Yep.
It's so easy. It's so easy to like come across
have-
Arabs that have never even lived in the Middle East who just flat out think Israelis are Nazis. Like flat out, they're like, wait, you're Palestinian, you live in Israel? Like they don't have you guys in camps? Like literally, I get asked that. It's so much easier to dehumanize people you've never met, and that's why Israelis
Yep.
are like dehumanize Palestinians so much because a lot of them don't ever interact with Palestinians other than the occasional terror attack in Israel.
That's true, but like Israelis, you can like take the project of like the schools, like the Dula Shoni or something, and expand them and force Israelis to interact with Israeli Palestinians. But I
Yes,
don't
they
see
can,
anything.
but they would not.
and-
But
and-
here,
I-
being
I don't
the
see that
Palestinian
happening in
part of our
Gaza.
identity is
That's not
shame.
going to happen in Gaza.
It's not going to
And-
happen in
and-
Gaza.
and
I understand,
it-
but Funky,
Okay.
the problem here, even if they interact with us, it's not going to do much because the Palestinian part of our identity is still shamed and looked down upon and taboo. in
You're
this
right. No.
country.
It's a whole societal revolution has to eventually come. I acknowledge that. Okay, I'm just saying that like this
yeah, but
country.
it needs to start with us talking to each other. It can't start with It can't start with us separating.
Oh no, of
Well,
course,
no,
of course. No.
the separation-
I'm
the
not
separation
saying
isn't-
Sean. I'm not saying like the Itnatzkut. That's not the point.
The
It's just
separation
like
isn't about like cutting contact. The separation is talking
Yeah,
about
exactly.
removing the one of the main
Exactly.
things that makes Palestinians in the West Bank literally despise you guys, which is settlers. Either you have to get them under control, which the IDF will never do until they get a reform, or they have to be removed. I honestly think it's much more likely for the IDF, for the settlements to be removed than the IDF be reformed, because Israelis worship the
Agree.
IDF as a fucking newfound god.
you're exaggerating
You
a
would
bit,
never
but I
wanna
agree that
change
it'll
your
be easier.
That's
It'll be
a
easier.
very big statement, Steph.
It's
But-
pretty
Can
fucking
I-
accurate.
What I was
The way
trying to
the-
say
the
Can I
is that-
ask you
IDF is
something, Steph?
infallible.
Hold on,
Oh,
guys.
go ahead.
Don't talk over each other.
I just had a question for Steph because I think that the next, like this coming election, I think turnout amongst Israeli Palestinians is
It's
going
not
to be
gonna
like
change
super
much.
super important. So I
It's not
wanted
gonna
to
change
know like what
It's
you
the
think.
highest last year. It was the highest it's ever been, which is like I think it was like 68%. But
Yeah.
the problem is the last 30% of like eligible voters are the fucking ballot shit stains that are just larpers that just fucking whine and
Right.
whine and whine. And even if they vote for ballot. And ballot is not
that
the
was
one
my
that's gonna
other-
work with anything.
Yeah.
Ballad's not.
I
Ballad is
wanted to
there
know if
just
there was
whinge
like
and
a-
whine about shit. They're like the
Right.
online diasporoids. That they're not. They're
It's so
fucking useless.
frustrating. I know.
Yeah,
So that's what I was
Seb,
going to say. If there
what
was like
they-
a party whose whole premise
Yeah.
was like the same way that like the Haredi parties, like their whole thing, other than the draft, is to like advocate for like laws that make Haredi life better, which means like like making sure that like the Chad Pami is really cheap and that there's no tax on like sugary foods and all the subsidies and everything like that. If there was a party whose like whole job was to do that for the Palestinian Israeli communities, do you think they would get like there would be
No,
they
because
would
there's already
get
a
a lot of
party like
votes?
that. No,
Well, there's
'cause
right.
Yeah, there's already a
there was
part of
already a
that.
part like Ram is that party. The problem is
I wasn't sure
Ram,
if it had other parts of it as identity
the
tied to
problem,
it as well or
yeah,
not.
the problem is Ram is one of those parties, and Ram literally like was a part of the government and actually did this not just for the people that voted for them. They did it for people that voted against them, that voted for Likud, like Druze. Like majority
Yeah.
of Druze voted for Likud, and they
Yeah.
still went and gave like a budget and gave money to Druze villages that were actually lacking infrastructure and whatnot. And yeah, all that money was taken by Smotrich and put into settlements.
Right.
Literally,
Except
word
I-
for word, by the way, Isawi Frage, when he sat down with Loner, literally told him about the entire, like, the biggest thing that broke down the government, like, from the right wing. It was, like, from, what's it called? What's his name again? That fucking, like,
It was from
the
Bennett's party.
yeah, Bennett's party. It was, some of his ministers didn't like the fact that there was
Yeah.
money going to Arab villages.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they
It's like-
defected. Yeah.
It's like the fact that you
They're
have
going to
Arabs
have
in
to,
your party.
though.
Like, what the fuck do you
Yeah.
expect? Like my biggest problem here is majority of the infrastructure changing in the villages near me has literally just been because of the success of businesses in these areas who legit donate to the fucking municipality. They donate money.
Crazy. Right.
Steph, I have a
it's a
follow
sorry.
up question. Because I was wondering about this because I'm going to work in the Yair Golan's campaign, and like the only votes on the table are like in Arab constituencies. So what if a party like Yair Golan's that already says that they support a two-state solution also promises stuff like allowing Arab villages in the north, like in the Emek, expand and like build and giving them like building permits and stuff? Will that make them vote for a Jewish like majority party? Or
Arabs are
because I know they vote for Shas because of similar reasons and stuff like
they
that. Some
vote for
people
Shas because Shas, what's it called? Like employs policies that are like big
Yeah.
family policies, which is like if the more kids you have, the better your
Yeah.
life is. Like policies that help bigger families, and also families where the woman stays at home, or like the people who need social security, for example. A lot of people are under the poverty line in Arab communities. Like I think it's like it used to be 30%. I'm thinking now it's like near in the 50%, which is crazy.
So,
because
but what if they promise? What if like a party promises them similar things with that, and maybe
I think promises are not
building
gonna be enough.
permits, and like more money for like the municipalities,
I
and
mean,
on top of
they're
that,
definitely gonna
they
give
give
votes,
them
but
like
they're
the
not-
ideological dream because they also support giving them a state. I don't know. So maybe
I understand. The problem is you're gonna get votes for that, but you're not gonna get like a big movement to just like turn around, because the biggest Belad shit stains are in the north.
oh yeah.
That the biggest Balad shit stains who are LARPers are the ones living in Haifa and whatnot. They're like you've noticed
think
where the
that
ones
more
you've
Yeah.
noticed where the hippies are. The hippies are the ones that usually vote Balad. They're nationalistic hippies, is what I call. They're usually living in the Haifa area. They're the ones that are like voting Balad to just like throw away their vote.
But there's like 40% of the Arab population doesn't vote. Where are those votes? Is that like
Because
Bedouins?
they don't-
Is that
not
like
just
people in the
Bedouins,
north?
no, Bedouins-
abstainers?
Bedouins-
Like who? Where are they?
Abstainers. They're in the
Yeah.
north. Abstainers. They believe
Abstainers.
Israel is an illegal state and you should not participate in their elections based on principle.
But they represent like 5 seats in the Knesset. They could have so much like
Yeah, they're
power
retarded.
to do shit and like give.
You're telling
like,
me
money.
I called them retarded.
Okay.
I think they should be rounded up and kicked into another country so they can fucking vote there. Like they're fucking stupid.
Okay.
You guys are gonna log off. It's a great conversation, Dante.
I'm gonna go continue playing games.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Have a good day, Avi.
Bye bye.
I was only here to preserve the Jewish majority, so I'll be heading out too. Also,
God
I
damn
wanted to like
Leonard.
challenge Avi on the whole building the third temple stuff, but he's gone now.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he just laid that down there, and I didn't know what to do
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
God
No,
damn
it's
it.
okay that they don't take that seriously. It's fucking crazy loony
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cheers.
I want to hear about Yair Golan's campaign. Are you
What
starting
do you
to
wanna
work
hear
on that
about?
now?
Wait,
or
wait, hold on,
just
hold
gonna
on.
look this up?
Chat. 32 people watching, 12 likes. What the fuck? Come on, you can
Yeah,
do better.
yeah, you're right.
You can totally do
Subscribe and,
better.
and
Come on,
like.
chat.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I've like volunteered, but it hasn't started yet, so there's no like
Okay,
things
I
to
was
do
just
yet.
curious.
Yeah, I think we should be more like America and start campaigning way earlier, because I think BB like campaigns every year, all year round. That's why he's so
Absolutely.
successful.
Also, as far
And like
as
the left doesn't do
strategy,
this. But yeah.
yeah, I think that you need to make sure they get some sort of like a political psychologist to make sure
Oh
that you
no,
have a
yeah,
good
they have.
strategy. Because
They have
if
all
I
of
see
that.
one more infuriating everybody playing into BB's campaign in this country, I might just lose all my hair, and we can't have that.
Well, being combative and like insulting publicly like Smotrich and Benford is part of his strategy. I don't know how effective it is, but I
Yeah.
criticize it sometimes.
Well, I think
But I think like the
specifically,
left wants that.
yeah.
Like they want the in Tel Aviv. That's what they want.
They definitely want that, but it's also about like when you get asked a question of like, oh, are you going to sit in a government with Bibi or not? Instead of being like yes or no, the answer should be like, sure, if he wants to kind of sign on to our plan and join as a minister, I'd be happy to have him. Like not to play his game
that's what he
anymore.
should do.
You know what I mean? Like I think
Yeah,
that's a really important. The only way anyone's going to be able to like take him down is if they stop playing the game, and nobody seems to be able to figure that out.
No.
And
And
it's,
everybody on the left are like fighting over Lapid's votes because they don't think they can
Right.
get any right wing votes because like Bennett's are going to get those. That's why I'm
but it also
trying
doesn't
to
matter.
think
Those
about
votes are in
strategy
the
for Arab
coalition
votes.
anyways.
Yeah, they're in
Exactly.
the coalition anyways. But like Lapid is also like useless as a coalition leader, so we should like boot him out of there also as soon
Sure.
as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
But fighting over those, like that will happen naturally. Fighting over those votes just strengthens BB's camp. You know, like presenting like a
definitely. They should fight over
stable,
moderates
kind of
that,
confident,
don't vote and stuff. Yeah.
let's say BB doesn't fight over Ben-Gvir and Smotrich's votes. You know.
Yeah, but he's gonna fight with Bennett. He's gonna fight with Bennett over.
He's gonna fight with people that are not going to be in his camp. So focus on that and let Lapid try and Bennett try to get the wafflers from Likud, and you focus on the leadership and the messaging and having an actual plan that isn't just reactionary. You know.
No, you're right. Being reactionary is the worst thing. That the left
It's exactly where BP wants you, and that's why he wins.
You're right. Like being anti-BB has not helped any.
No.
They should run on policy. People in Israel like policy. Promise them
and say like, if he wants to help us out, he was a great minister of the economy in 2003. We'd love to have him back. Like, just talk about like, don't buy into the myth.
Yeah, people love cottage cheese. We should promise 50% discount.
You can get a Haredi vote with cottage cheese.
Wow, a bunch of people left while I walked away to feed the cat. But I mean, it is getting late there, I think, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's like midnight. Yeah.
Oh, that's Avi's gone. Jeez. Okay, that's why, because it is midnight. Because he probably has to be up tomorrow. I'm surprised Insomniac left, but okay, yeah.
Avi conceded. He said free Palestine, and
this wasn't a good.
Be back for you, Kalinda.
Hello.
I'll always be back for you.
Thanks, Insomniac. Yeah, like yeah, I'm glad this was an interesting conversation, you know, like I guess I feel like Avi's position has sort of been I guess like I understand it better now, but yeah, obviously like that particular position about like basically wanting to keep Jews or being like Jews being able to stay in the West Bank. I've heard that expressed before by other people too, and it like yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of issues there. Like I get where that's coming from. I think that
That's a tough sell,
Hebron.
to say the least. I'm just saying that's a tough sell, to say the least. I'm not saying it's like malicious or anything like that. Honestly,
It's
he
so
made some
malicious.
good
It's
points.
just like lofty and it's like idyllic and it's never going to
Yeah, yeah.
actually happen. We have to be
Exactly.
pragmatic, and that's not pragmatic in any way. So I'm not buying
Yeah,
it that it's gonna
maybe
work.
in the future that something like that can happen, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I mean, at least Avi said that he'd be fine with Palestinians being allowed to come into Israel and stuff. But no, Vaniloven, it's not my decision about letting Avi back into Loner Chord. This was not a trial. I am not the head mod in Loner Chord. I'm doing a different thing than what they are doing over there, even though I am also a mod there. Here I want if you're a crazy person, I want you here, okay? Like I would let that Zionist girl be in that Discord, because once I get enough people in this Discord, then I'm gonna lock all the crazy people in the debate coliseum, and anyone can go in there and argue with them, and it's gonna be like gay baby jail, except it's gonna be multiple channels, and anything will go in there as long as you don't violate Discord TOS, which means that still means that there won't be any Nazis or any of that. Yes, Chase, Prometheus could potentially come into this community and argue if he wanted to, but I don't think he does. I think he's mostly just interested in going on and talking to Lonerbox and being a crazy weird stalker person. Although I would debate Prometheus, but I feel like that would be easy mode, because Prometheus is
If
very
you want that
stupid.
Zionist girl, I bet Sev can hook you up with that.
Yeah,
I heard that
I know. What'd you say, Dante?
I'm saying I heard that name before. Prometheus. Is he like a chatter? And
Prometheus
on the
Unbound is a person who has been on to talk to Loner, I think, like 3 or 4 times. No, Chase, absolutely not. No, I don't want anybody like no. Bad Empanada is no. I'm not interested in people who engage in doxing. I just said you can't. No one who violates Discord TOS would be allowed in, and those people do. But like, yeah, yes, Vosh would be fine. Not that Vosh would ever, but I mean, unfortunately, most of the people who like I would actually want to come here don't actually debate anyway. As far as who Prometheus is, he's been on to talk to Loner like multiple times. He's been banned. He went around to universities in Scotland and like handed out a little pamphlet warning people about Loner. And yeah, it's like he's just he's a meme. He's I you know what? I can just link some of the debates.
Sure.
I'm sure that you must have seen them, Dante. You must know who Prometheus. You might just might not know him by his name.
Yeah, I guess Loner never did the showing the Discord name. You just never know who you're talking to.
I mean, you
who you're
kind of have
listening
to look really close on the VOD or whatever. It's the okay, do you know that clip that always plays in Loner's BRB screen where the guy he's talking to is like he basically calls Sev an Israeli dog? Do you remember that clip? That's Prometheus.
No, that's I've never seen that one.
Wait, real? Oh, okay, damn. All right. Bicon Radical. Oh, you're going to get ready for the game. Yeah,
Let's go, JAYS.
Yes, I'll be watching the game. It's on in I think 2 hours. I think it starts at 8. God, it's so close. I really, really hope. Last night my heart sank so much when things did not go well. But yeah, hopefully they do
Is it
better.
the foot sport or the hand sport?
It's baseball. Which
okay.
Clubs.
Okay.
The bats.
Do you guys how much I feel like in the rest of the world the only sport that anybody cares about is fucking football / soccer, and except for in India where they really like cricket or something. Please,
Yeah,
People care about
Southeast,
soccer here way more, but we're way better at basketball than soccer. We
Yeah,
suck
true.
at soccer, even though it's like the national sport. We suck at it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Does anybody play baseball anywhere except for in North America? Like, Is that?
South Korea, aren't they really good at baseball?
Oh, Japan plays baseball too, because there are several
Yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
players that are on the teams that we are watching tonight.
South American countries too. Most of the
Oh.
players you're gonna find their name is gonna be
Oh yeah, yeah,
Latin
yeah,
American.
yeah. They're also Hispanic people also yes, supposedly Prometheus also hung out with the Taliban. I don't know. Like, wait, Dante, did you ever see that debate that Destiny did with the guy who was part of the Irish pro-Palestine or the Irish Palestinian solidarity movement? Did you do you remember that debate, Dante? It would have been a long time ago. That's Prometheus.
Let me see if I can find some clips on YouTube just to refresh.
Hold on. I'll find it. Anyway, yeah, carry on with what y'all were saying. Does Cuba still play baseball? I mean, probably. Yeah, like in South America there are lots of yeah, like we have a Dominican Vladdy Guerrero Jr. is Dominican, Tuckman Marsh, but he's also Canadian, I think. I think he was born in Montreal and his dad played for the Montreal Expos, which are unfortunately no longer a thing. And I know there are people in Montreal who are angry about that. I mean, Toby is not here to mention this.
Suck it, Toby.
Oh yeah, his English isn't good. He's learning still.
You know what funny thing happened to me one time?
What?
I was in this like pizza shop in Scarborough having like a slice, and these lovely family, like they walk in the pizza shop. They look like touristy. They're speaking this language I can't really understand. And they're like, "Oh, is this an Italian restaurant and whatnot?" I was like, "No, this is just like a takeout pizza. No restaurant here." And I was like, "Yeah, welcome to Canada and everything." And the guy just laughed and looked confused. And he was like, "I'm from Canada. I'm from Quebec." I couldn't understand the accent at all. It was like crazy accent. Like I know the French, I know some French, I know like the French accent, but the Quebecois accent is crazy. Yeah, I was totally embarrassed after that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, it is
You were embarrassed? He was from Quebec.
True. No, I'm kidding. That's not fair.
Lame Frenchies.
Probably. Let me see if I can find at least one of the debates that oh god, the debate with what was his name? West Side Tyler. That was some ridiculous things. Also, I've enjoyed Loner's tactic of basically just yelling at people and saying that they hate Arabs when they advocate for Palestinians to just keep fighting until victory, even though a lot of them will die as a result. And that they actually just love. Oh, here it is. It's this guy.
Yeah. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull god.
Yeah, basic. Well, like we were talking about that earlier. It's easier to say that when you're in the diaspora. Same thing as if you're like a Jewish diaspora person. It's easy.
Skull throne, yeah.
Yeah, skulls for the skull throne. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to say that too. Like if you're not living in Israel and you're Jewish, it's so much easier to like talk like that, because it's like, well, I mean, you don't live there, so you're not going to reap any of like the bad parts of that. But yeah, here I'll just. Or actually, you know what? Hold on. Dante, you're on your phone, aren't you?
No, I'm not driving today.
Oh my god. That is so weird.
I made some considerations.
I thought you got your power from driving. I thought that was...
Aren't most of the people who believe that Palestinian Arabs?
Believe what, TRC? I'm not even French, LOL. Yeah, I know. We know you're not, Toby.
You're still lame, though.
To go. Have a lovely evening, everyone. And don't forget to like everybody watching. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night, Adi. Thank you. Bye.
Right,
Night,
90,
night.
90.
Okay. Hold on. If y'all are watching my screen, I'll just show you who I'm talking about. Does everyone else who know who Prometheus is? Is Dante the only one?
No, I know.
No, I have no idea either.
He's unhinged. I watched his the like talks with Loner. It's weird person. He always goes down to the same route though. Like
Yes. Yes, he does.
in the end, crashing out over some transphobic shit and then leaving the call.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's what happened the most recent time, which was very funny. But yeah.
Wait, no way. I think I
Okay, hold
Is
on.
he,
I'm gonna play the video. Just a sec.
yeah. Go ahead.
Or where we were with the video.
The Palestinians and Arabs in general.
Yeah, that famously massive fucking podcast that is very representative of the average. Yes. What are you talking
Man,
about?
the guy was working with Benjamin Netanyahu's like office, man. He was his photographer or something like that. He was his media personality, something like that.
Yeah, this guy. You know who
Yeah, I
this
think I showed up. I think I showed up after, and I said that guy was kind of crazy with all
Yeah.
the gay things, gay transphobic things he said. But yeah, I guess he does this for a lot from the a lot of alts.
Yeah, he does, because we banned him, and so every time we ban him, he always comes back, and like he has a different alt. So like he'll come back every few months, and I think it was very funny actually. The most recent time that he came back, I had a doctor's appointment, and I was listening to the stream while I was waiting for my turn. This was like a few months ago. I think it was during the summer, and it was funny that he just kind of showed up, and as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, oh damn, it's time for some content. And that was when Loner made him leave by talking about like gay stuff and gay sex in like a graphic way, and then he got really mad and ran away. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which was really funny. I think that was the first time that he ever ran away. I think all the other times, like Loner just kind of ended the conversation with him. But that time, yeah, that's like my favorite tactic to use against people who are all puritanical. Yeah, like this guy claims to be a leftist, but he's very obviously, I think he's probably just an Islamist or something. Or actually, I don't even know if he's Muslim. Maybe he's not, but he is. I think he's just like a tanky person.
I think I remember him now completely. I think he was. I think he's. I don't want to be a racist, but he sounds like Southeast Asian, Pakistani. I think something like that. I do remember a lot what he said. Honestly, like he started unhinged, but towards the end he started to make a lot of the. He was mentioning stuff about Pixie and Destiny and whatnot. He just completely crashed out. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what always happens every time. He just starts talking about other really dumb stuff. And yeah, Chase, maybe he is an Islamist. I have no idea. I mean, he certainly like he supports all these groups. Like he supports Hezbollah and he supports Hamas, and yeah, it's like, and I think he went and took pictures with the Taliban in Afghanistan apparently. But yeah, I don't know. He gets banned, and then he comes in on a Discord alt, which is always really funny, and like we never know whether or not it's him until like he gets into the waiting room. And it's content, you know, like I think every debate Loner has ever had with him has been uploaded to the chat or to the YouTube chat because it's content. So yeah, it's it's good content too, which is like he's really funny. But I would debate him but he's also an easy mode debate because like he's just stupid and he just says the same crap over and over again. Oh, a lot of right wingers do the Taliban tourism thing. Ha, lol. Of course they do. Okay. Whew. Oh
Who's
wow.
the next debate? Who's the next debate?
I'm trying to get Ogre Bar to come back because there's some things I want to talk to him about. But yeah. Yeah, that would be a fun thing to do, I guess. I don't know who else would be. Oh, and I will be debating Lactoid on Ukraine at some point. It's just that I need to like brush up on all the insane Euromaidan conspiracy theories. Yes, Chase, I would happily debate Teuton again, but Teuton had never answered my DM, and I think he's busy, and we have not seen him around. So yeah, I mean, he does maybe he went out and decided to touch some grass. Maybe he's not watching Hassan as much anymore because of the
Maybe
dog
he needs
thing.
to. Maybe Loner like got to him too much, so he needs some time in like the incubator with the Hassan content like being pumped in.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Actually, it is possible.
Maybe he
Yes.
finally found some chromosomes and now he can think for once.
That yes, it would be nice, that he. I mean, I think I asked him if he wanted to come on like several weeks ago again for a second time because he came on like during like I think it was like my second or third stream, and we talked for like 4 hours and argued. Maybe he got on a flotilla. Oh yeah, maybe he did, Seb. Maybe he finally got on a flotilla. Maybe he finally took your advice to heart and decided, you know what? It's time to
I'm gonna do
care. Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't know though. I think that like I'm trying to I think Two Tom probably just left. But or maybe he'll be back. Tell the
wish him well.
IDF to watch their backs. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know who else would be that would be willing to. Obviously, like I'll always talk to Fire, but right now what I would like to do is I want to talk to a leftist about like their overall view of the conflict, or like I want to talk to a leftist because I'm just trying to wrap my head around like there are people who seem to understand the complexities and the nuances of the conflict, but for some reason like they always just default to making it a black and white thing when it's not. And it's really annoying. And I just want to kind of like find someone that I can talk to where I can just drill down on that notion and just see like if I can understand. Yeah, no, Chase, I'm not calling into the majority report. That is a waste of time. I don't really want to get soy lectured at by Emma and called racist.
No. That's a bad time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just not fun, right? Like you don't I would rather, if I'm going to talk to people, I would rather just do it like normal, but yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of is there anything else? Is there anything else any of y'all want to say? Any points that you want to make?
No, I'm
not to each other. Dante wasn't unhinged enough. He didn't make me angry, and I don't have the rage points.
Next time you'll definitely hear something.
All right.
Wait, hold on. Insomniac, were you here when Dante said Palestinians have a right to resist? I'm just kidding. That's such a, like, I feel like...
I mean, he also clarified what he meant by resisting, right?
I know. That's true. I mean, I think they have a right to resist. I just don't think that, but like everyone in here thinks they have a right to resist as long as it's not like doing fucking terrorism. I'm pretty sure, like, it's like, I feel like everybody.
I feel like it's a conversation that you gotta have a lot of times, like every few weeks, because people hear all kinds of things when someone hears resistance, and people can mean a lot of things with that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it obviously annoys me when like I think a couple days ago when I tried to watch that GDF video before I noped out because it was all just the same shit. Like there was a video of Bernie there. At the beginning during the 2014 war, and Bernie brought up the fact that Hamas was shooting like unguided rockets onto Israeli villages, and somebody in the audience basically screamed about how like occupied people have a right to resist. Like when you say obviously that kind of stuff is like, okay, well now it's just a red flag because you're saying that resistance basically is shooting unguided rockets into random Israeli villages and hoping that maybe they'll hit a civilian or something. Yeah, it's not really
yeah, it's like saying, whatever is justified.
Yeah.
We don't live here, Dante, but if you ever meet Israeli Palestinians, try and convince them to participate in electoral politics. They're missing out.
Please.
I feel like
vote for Yair Golan. Funky gets a higher raise. Yeah, he'll get a raise for it.
I totally understood like Sev's frustration about like those people who just don't want to vote or whatever. Yeah, like as I think that in the past,
a lot of people. It's like 20% below the national average, and the national average is already a little low. It's like so many seats in the Knesset could be going to fighting for Palestinians, and it's not being done. So annoying.
I feel like this is a common sentiment across the Arab world. The voting is useless. especially when it comes like to Jordan, Syria, Iraq, all these places with the alleged democratic, at least parliaments in Jordan, where it's supposed to be democratic parliament, democratic monarchy, which it's absolutely not. But
No,
you get
it's
the
not.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's I actually I noticed that actually in the well here it's right or like in some of these polls in the PCRF polling there's always at least a bunch of people where it's like I will not here's one like if new elections are agreed upon by all factions and held today and the same lists took part in the PLC elections in the last PLC election, in the same list that took part in the last PLC elections were nominated for whom would you vote? And then we've got like, Fatah, Change and Reform, Hamas, third parties, none of the above, and then will not participate in the elections. And it's like 40% of people in the West Bank.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, yeah, it's like there's always like some portion of people who say will not participate. In Gaza, it's only 28, thankfully, but I mean, still, that's still like a lot. It's kind of that sucks if everyone is just like, well, I'm just going to boycott and you're not going to participate and stuff. And unless you have like a reasonable reason to believe that the election is going to be rigged, it seems silly to do that. And even if it
Middle
is
Easterners are stubborn and very principled, and you cannot get them out of their set ways. It's hard. It takes time.
Yeah, it's I guess it really puts things in perspective though, like for like people like me or like Americans complaining about the black-pilled lefties who refuse
I find it with
to
Israelis
vote.
too. I find it with Israelis too. Like there's a very low percentage of people not voting, but it's very hard to get people to actually like understand the politics, to actually look deep into them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how low it is. It's like I think it's like last time the voting turnout was like 74%, something like that, even among Jews.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah, it's also not great, but it's like it's not as bad as like maybe other places in the Middle East, but
No, it's not as bad. It's not even close. Yeah.
But like it's also very hard to get people here to really understand like the cruxes of the issues and like nuances of issues. It's funny, Funky, what you said about Dante earlier, because Dante, I feel like I have the same experience with you so far that I had like with that I had it when I was living in Amsterdam, which is with Palestinians and with like other people from the Middle East. I could get along really fine, and then there were the white people who had a problem with it.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't get me started on this because Kalinda is right here and she is a member of the white race.
If you want to listen, if you want to shit on white people, I don't give a fuck about it. Do it. Go ahead.
No, honestly, like I don't even like to do
but
that.
You Minecraft
I feel
like a Palestinian.
Honestly, I don't even like to do the whole thing, like identity politics thing. It's like something I just completely stay away from. But it's like a savior complex. I don't know what it is.
Definitely. I have cousins in England, and they have like Christian cousins that aren't Jewish because my aunt married a Christian, and I met one of their cousins lately when I went to visit, and she was all nice, but she was like the most like blonde, blue-eyed, like Danish overlord, UK person you've ever met, and I was like asking her like, what do you do? What do you study? Because she was like 23. She told me, "Oh yeah, I'm doing Middle Eastern studies. I want to solve the conflicts in the Middle East." And I was like, "What the fuck are you?"
Oh no!
get a realistic life goal, and like, who's gonna listen to you?
Like, what do you know about the Middle East?
I mean, in some ways,
for Christmas, it's peace in the Middle East.
In some ways, I guess like, listen, I can relate. I'll joke about it. I will become. I will become a white colonizer and petition you. I will force it upon you. There will be two states, and you will do land swaps. And yeah, like but no, it's like I get that. I think that's stupid that people that yes, there are definitely like people who will do that. But like I guess the dumbest thing about that is when people do that is that those people ignore like all the problems. Like the white the white leftist people who think that a one state is something that both sides want and that it's totally
Yeah.
going to be something that they can just force on them. And anytime like you object to that, all they do is they talk about, yeah, well, in South Africa, or yeah, well, people said the same thing about like desegregation and the Civil Rights Act in the United States. And it's like they just don't understand. And it's just so stupid. Or they get like super offended if you dare to suggest that maybe, just maybe, Israelis have a reasonable fear of like not wanting to like become a minority with a bunch of people who they have like a fuckload of bad blood with and who have a very like who have lots of good reasons to hate them and who they have lots of good reasons to hate. And it's just like, yeah,
Yeah, the thing is, like a lot of people, they on this side of the spectrum, which is mostly like the liberal and the leftist, they engage in the conflict in the most superficial virtue signal type of way, and it just dilutes the message, dilutes the conflict so much, the nuances of it, what actually needs to happen, what's the discussions that need to be opened first, and yeah, just dilutes that with all the virtue signaling and the fake moral outrage. I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It would be nice if it's just it's stupid. Like I don't know.
But to some extent, saying that like the protests did shine some light on like the Palestinian issue, did move some cogs, so you can't throw it out completely, but yeah,
I
it's
mean, yeah,
complex.
that's fair. It is like I wish that those protests had been like more reasonable and not as like unhinged, or that they had done more to yeah, I wish the pro-Palestine movement in the West hadn't been taken over by crazy people, and it feels like it has.
I mean, honestly, if one thing is like the pro-Palestine movement and Palestine movement have in common is bad leaders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Although now it seems like Israel now has that same problem too, even though you didn't always,
Yeah,
because at
we
one
haven't
point,
had good leaders for like 30 years. I know. All the
yeah,
good leaders live in the past on both sides.
like Rabin is like, you know, was today the what was it, the 31st anniversary of his murder? Yitzhak Rabin, was that a thing?
30 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's what people said. I think someone said in chat yesterday that you guys never recovered, and that he was really. I mean, there were others after him who were willing to do
Yeah.
it, but yeah, it's just.
Like
I know,
if
but
you
the
ask
left
any,
never recovered.
the left never recovered, yeah.
The idea of seeing it happen, I think because it was finally like attainable, finally someone came with an attainable plan. It did something there. And with Rabin gone, especially when it came, I'm sorry, like if it's gonna sound weird to people from the outside, but like the fact that it was like an Israeli who did it, you know, like it wasn't like someone from like someone Palestinian or like a terror group that like a Palestinian terror group that won. No, it was like our own side. We were that unhinged that like someone from like and
Yeah.
like killed the fucking president
Yeah.
and killed the peace process with it. Like,
and
Well,
Bibi.
it was the death of Rabin and like the second Intifada that killed it
yeah,
together.
true.
But yeah, but till this day, if you ask moderates, like if you ask my mom, like why can't you believe in the peace process again? And like they'll tell you we only believe that Rabin could do it. We don't believe anybody can do it today. So we're like we'll just keep to the status quo. Which is
Yeah,
sad.
my uncle had said something interesting about it. He said, like, if like nobody wants to be the next person who tries. Either the Palestinian gets them or we do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a fear that I think actually it's probably fair that I think that's kind of like why whoever does it on both sides is going to have to be someone who's going to have to be like brave enough to take that risk, because obviously like on the Palestinian side, like someone who did that would also probably have a level of fear as well about whether or not, like I think Arafat said that to Clinton, like I can't do this because I'll get assassinated, and he just wasn't brave enough to do it. I don't think that was the only reason why he didn't accept it, but I'm sure that was a thought in his mind, and I suspect that's probably a thought in Abbas's mind too, or at least it was. Maybe he doesn't care about that as much anymore, because that he's like
I
a
think
billion
Abbas
years
was
old.
actually
Yeah, he has no
convinced
incentive
by
to do anything.
no, I think he was actually convinced once by Olmert to try, but I think like the whole like corruption scandal and then the breaking apart like blackpilled him, and he was like, no, let's just keep my seat of power and fuck off and like yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's,
yeah, he didn't. I mean, you're right. He doesn't have any incentive. Although he is like, I guess,
Yeah.
you sort of start to you sort of start to like maybe gain a new perspective when you're getting towards the end of your life, and you start to think about, like, especially if you're a leader. I imagine that, like, at least for some people, legacy becomes something that matters to you. Like, I don't know if Bibi cares about that, although I've heard that he does. I've heard that, like, some people say that, like, he wants that he wants to, like, secure something like good or whatever, like peace with Saudi Arabia or something like that, or normalization with them, that would be a good thing that he wants. Like, but I don't know how, like, do you guys think that he actually cares about any of that, or yeah?
That's hell no.
He cares
I mean,
about his image a lot. He does. I
exactly.
think Abbas like cares about like keeping the PA alive. Like with his recent appointment, he's like not allowing elections and not allowing like anybody else other than the person who would like keep the PA as it is to succeed him, because he doesn't want like Hamas to gain power or PAJ or whatever, because
Yeah,
because he knows the consequences of that. But
I feel like the
it's
last
still,
5
it's not good
years.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in the last like 5-7 years, maybe since the Sheikh Jarrah incident, he's been saying a lot of the things that are like popular with Palestinians that resonate with them, at least like the moderate to the not so radical ones. But that's all it is. It's like talk, and it's like sloganeering and
oh, so you have
like
no trust in Abbas at all? Do you think
no,
like
absolutely not.
do you think
No,
I
no,
think
it's not gonna do anything.
do you think he
His
does
he's a
replacement.
status quo. Like he's also like part of the status quo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you
His
think-
replacement is an interesting person. Like I'm interested to see what's gonna happen when he replaces him, because he has connections within like Israeli security forces, and he has like friends in the IDF, and like it's interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. But we'll see.
that would be an interesting, yeah, like, I don't
I'd
know,
like
like
to see that.
maybe
But
somebody.
also,
Yeah.
that's one thing a Palestinian leader also has to deal with, that any form of connection with Israeli intelligence, or you're over comfortable with the Israelis in some ways, you get called a collaborator and a traitor. So
Yeah.
even if you engage in the peace process, some Palestinians will call you a collaborator. So
Yeah.
you
I
gotta be
think-
careful with that.
I think
Wait,
it's-
Dante, are you a collaborator for being in this room right now? There be people calling you a collaborator?
Definitely some people will be calling me that, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's luckily something I don't have to give a fuck about.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he doesn't live there. I think it's funny that, like, it's interesting that you say that too, because like people like Marwan Barghouti, who has, I don't know if he still does, he probably not, because he hasn't talked to them in a gazillion years, but I think people still speak highly of him. He had good relationships with some Israeli politicians because he had talked to them and stuff, right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's how, depends on how popular you are, and
Yeah,
like
I know
what your position and your stances are. Are you corrupted? Are you a hypocrite?
Yeah,
Do you
like,
stand on your word?
Arafat apparently was very popular. Even I don't know if his popularity ever faded, even as he pursued peace and all of that stuff. So yeah, it seemed like that was but unfortunately he just
The
didn't want to
current
take
head of the
risk.
Mossad, like his big plan to change things, he always like recommends this to every government, is to free Barghouti, and he's planning to get into politics now. So
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
he's
yeah.
like he's like perceived center right, like he's going to be perceived like center left, because like people on the far right are going to call him that, but like yeah, and he wants to free Barghouti, but yeah, we'll see what
I
happens.
did see
with that.
from a news source,
Well,
Jordanian
people on the
news
far right
source.
are gonna call him deep state traitor.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call. But how are they gonna do that to the Mossad head that like defeated Hezbollah? Like how he has like a bunch of credibility. We have to see what happens. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually really funny. Like the whole, deep state stuff. Like the like calling people the deep state who have like long service, and although I guess that works because they've been serving the state for a long time, but even so, it's still very silly. Yeah, Mossad head is the perfect deep state candidate.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought that was just like conspiracy theories. Now you got like Trump and actual in policy in the political world, people calling things deep state. Like, motherfucker, you're the deep state. You're the state. What do you mean?
Yeah,
deep state?
exactly.
like is the concept of the deep state, that's not new in Israeli politics though, is it? It's just the term deep state. Like, hasn't Bibi been doing that for a
The
while?
term, yeah, no, they used to call them the elite. They used to call them the leftist elite. That wasn't in power for like 40 years, but they perceived the leftist elite as having powers. Like,
Yeah, they lead,
like
then it got switched to First Israel, and then like the non-elites were Second Israel.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's okay.
Like walking in the shadows and controlling. Yeah, that's like have they fear-mongered over the judicial reforms. They're like, yeah, look at those like elitist judges. They're all leftist elitists.
That's pretty funny, actually. That's great though. Well, I mean, it's not great, but it's funny. It's just funny, like how similar you can find things in like different places, and how much stuff. Like, every country, there's so many countries that all have like, oh, okay, you guys have this same crazy shit that they have in America, and you guys have had it for longer, and it's very possible that Trump took notes from Bibi, and that's how,
Well, Trump took notes from Bibi and Orban and whatever the Polish guy is. Yeah, took all the notes.
I'm sure some notes from Erdogan too.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that's I think I don't know what's going on with this. So the ceasefire is back on.
Yeah, it's back on.
It's barely alive. It's still alive.
Okay.
I don't know if it's progressing. Like, I don't know, like what.
Yeah.
No one's talking about Hamas disarmament. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think JD Vance and Trump are just hoping that like a status quo ceasefire will take effect again or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they probably are. Like, I feel like at this point, I don't even know. Like, it kind of feels like Trump would, he might even try to stop Bibi from doing anything if it meant that he could keep the peace intact, even if nothing else happens, which is kind of unfortunate because then it would just be, well, let's go back to the status quo, which is not good. Like, I'm not saying that like that I want them to like start shooting at each other again, but at the same time, it's like it's so hard because like Hamas needs to leave, and there was a thing that Hamza posted on Twitter a while ago, or like I think yesterday. Do you guys know who Hamza is? He's like a Palestinian that I think lives in Germany, and he's very anti-Hamas. Yeah, he tweets about various things. He posted about how apparently there's like a rift in Hamas going on between the more pro-Iran faction, which would have been like Sinwar and Mohammed Deif and like Sinwar's brother, like all people who are dead now, and a more pro-Qatar faction who want to move more towards like doing like civil politics stuff and not so much doing violent resistance, because
that's always been the case, and that's been I think you said it or Avi said it, something like you mentioned in the beginning of the stream, like people in the leadership in Gaza or the people on the ground are going to be the most radical ones, and the people outside are going to be the more it was the opposite. I guess what I was saying is just like, the leadership in Qatar are more reasonable and diplomatic, and the ones on the ground, the war commanders like Sinwar and Deif, were the more militaristic one and wanted to go all out on the idea of full resistance and terrorism.
Yeah, apparently Qatar has been pushing them to like more in that direction, in the not terrorism direction. Sorry, go on, Funky.
No, it seems like in the past 2 years that like the leadership in Qatar doesn't have as much say as people thought they did. It doesn't seem like Sinwar or Def or anybody in the street ever listened to them. So I don't know if it's how.
Yeah, I think that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
especially since if you're seen as a figurehead and like the spokesperson, and as the movement, you're like completely seen as the entire movement. That gets difficult.
Oh yeah, Van Loven. Yeah, I know. Like Van Loven just said, I don't think any of these guys are down with the idea of existing next to Israel. I mean, yeah, they're probably not.
No.
Although at the same time, I mean, like I don't know, Qatar might just force them to. I have no idea. Like obviously, Qatar has a lot of power over them, or at least it seems like they do, since they're hosting them and everything, and they can put pressure. But yeah, I don't know where that does kind of remind me of something Loner said a long time ago, that there was a faction after the Palestinians pulled out, that or after the Israelis pulled out of Gaza, there was a faction among Hamas who was saying like, why don't we just like chill and like be a state instead of attacking or instead of like wanting to constantly destroy Israel. Why don't we like, see what we can do about becoming a state, or like actually like act like a state more? And then that guy, I think,
Try a
got shot
different path.
down or
Yeah, just try a different path. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that. But Adi is saying that Qatar is not a good actor. Yeah, I mean, you know a bunch of stuff
No.
about them, so
Yeah, Qatar is going the Russia route of interfering and sowing like
Discord.
disinformation and like fighting on both sides intentionally, and like breaking down any everything on both sides. Qatar is like extremely anti-Israel in that sense. And it's trying to interfere in our elections, and it's interesting.
I would be curious to know like exactly like what their end game is, because it seems like they want that they're trying to seem.
I want to pit all the Middle East against each other, so they come up on top. They're going with like the whole Soviet
I see.
Sell guns to everyone campaign thing. That's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, they also have an American.
They're using. An American what?
Oh, they have an American peace guarantee now because they bought it. Yeah.
And they bought it, and they like propped up years, which they're extremely smart. They have like they went full on. They invested everything in soft power, and they show the world that soft power wins every time. And they propped up like Al Jazeera as one of the biggest like news media operations in the world. Now they can just use it to like push like a bunch of agendas. Yeah, Qatar is an interesting actor.
Oh, they want everyone to be fighting so they can make peace, quote unquote. Oh, you mean so they can swoop in and be like a power broker that like resolves problems that only started because that they helped them start? Yeah, I see. Yeah,
that's why they maintain relations with Iran and Saudi Arabia and America and the Palestinians and Israel, because they know they're all fighting each other and they have money invested in that, and they gains a bunch of soft power for being the mediators and like the people who solve the issues. And
oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I see. That's crazy. Yeah, and apparently they are viewed positively, or like I guess the Palestinians view them in the least bad light in comparison to all the other countries, because I guess they're just not seen as like a sort of Western puppet.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, some prefer Iran and some prefer them. But but like they seem like they are their opposition to the other Gulf states, which like the Palestinians and a lot of like the Iranian opposition and bloc doesn't like Saudi Arabia and the UAE and Bahrain, and they don't like those countries. So Qatar is the
Saudi Arabia and the Arab world has become recently not the most popular. I would say they're standing among like the Arab population is like almost neutral, somewhat favorable, but compared to Qatar, it's like completely different because they're completely very popular.
Yeah.
But then again, the UAE is it's dropping. Its stock reputation is dropping very low.
Oh yeah, especially lately since they're funding the RSF, who are doing really bad shit in Sudan. So it's yeah. And you're welcome, Avi. Thanks for stopping by. That was an interesting conversation. Oh, and also Adi is saying like Al Jazeera, like the Qatar has Al Jazeera, and that's like a huge. I think isn't that like the most watched? Isn't that where most people get their news from in the Middle East, like or in the Arab Middle East at least? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the CNN and Fox and
yeah,
the
like
US
so.
And,
I know that Saudi Arabia has like Al Arabiya, but I guess that's just not as big of a thing.
No, it's not.
No, Al Jazeera is also worldwide. They have like English, so they can project power outside.
Yeah.
It's all owned by the Qatari state. So
Oh,
it's-
Al Arabiya has an English version now. That's
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube, but I don't think they're not as big as
Yeah.
obviously Al Jazeera's been around for ages and a lot of people watch. Like I didn't even know that Now This YouTube channel is apparently like owned by Qatar. Like I did not know that. I don't know if you
The
guys
what?
have even
Which
heard
one?
of. Oh, there's a channel on YouTube. It's called Now This, and it's just like it pushes like
Okay.
progressive leftist stuff. Their
Mhm.
clips will pop up on Twitter sometimes, like in the United States. I had no idea that like they were at all associated with Qatar. Like that surprised me to learn that, but apparently that's the case, and it's just yeah, I don't know. Like they've got their hands in so much.
They sow division. That's what happens. They do it in America as well because it's good for foreign policy.
Yeah, actually, let me fact check myself on that because I might be wrong about like Now This being, but unless or maybe I don't even know if Now This does Now This even still exist. I know they have AJ Plus now.
No, that's been active for a while, but yeah, it's been getting more big.
Yeah,
I guess they're engaging in like a super form of Cold War, reminiscent of like the Soviet Union, CIA, espionage,
Yeah.
Discord.
Just without like the actual war, they just like figured that soft power is good enough if you invest everything in it, and it works. Like they don't need to like deploy a single troop anywhere, and they still win. They're
True.
very smart.
maybe Now This is not owned by. Can't remember where I saw that or where I had heard that. It looks like there's just a lot of history. Or actually, it might have not been that. It might have been that they were being funded by Qatar, which
It's
is
usually funding. Yeah, it's usually not owning. It's usually funding and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, they usually will like fund stuff and whatnot. Which I don't even know how that even like or like why that isn't something that people actually are aware of or whatever. Because but I guess like it's all sort of done secretly or whatever.
I know why. Money speaks.
Yeah.
Speaks.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I know.
I don't think they're bribing anybody to change positions, but they do what like Russia does. They just like find people who they like their positions and they boost them as much as they can.
Yeah.
It's an easy thing to do. I don't get how Americans are not like way more up in arms about how much Russia interferes in like your elections and your politics. But,
Well, because that's
beyond me.
because that's fake news, Funky. It's not real.
That's fake news.
Okay, it's a hoax. It's the Russia hoax. Okay, Russia didn't actually do anything, and also Donald Trump has a really good relationship with Vladimir Putin. Okay, and like it's actually pretty awesome, and like yeah, Russia just didn't do anything wrong. Also,
like the whole
yeah,
big
it's
Smith
just-
Tim Pool being paid by Russia thing got like swept under the rug so fast. That like surprised me so
yeah.
much.
Oh, that didn't just get swept under the rug. Tim Pool is basically now denying that that was ever a thing. Like he's just
Really?
yes, he is. Now he's basically just saying that that's not true and that it didn't happen because that
Yeah, he's saying everything about it is fake.
yeah, like that's the last time that it was brought up to him. Like that is now his line because there's no more investigation because it's over because it was all like dropped by the Justice Department. Yeah, it's still now. I think that's still ongoing here because Lauren Chen is Canadian, and I'm pretty sure our government is still going after her for her role in that because she was the one who was behind the scenes doing it, and she actually knew
But I
where
think
that money was coming from.
part of the thing with her that she was supposed to not be active on social media now, but she's back active, so I don't know what that means.
Oh, I mean, if Lauren Chen lives in the United States, like she's fine. I have to look into that.
Yeah, right.
I haven't heard anything about that in a while, so I don't know if we just dropped the charges against her or what. But my understanding was that like we were doing a full investigation into all of that, and she and a bunch of other people got called before like Parliament. I think Lauren Southern might have also been called before Parliament as well. But
But wasn't this whole thing when Biden was still the president?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like here in Canada, right? I don't know if no,
All
no.
right,
Where
I
was
love
she
you
during the
folks,
time?
but I am way too tired to actually be like engaged, participatory, and like
Yeah,
contribute.
No,
it's
you're
like
good.
1 a.m. I'm
Oh,
gonna
Yeah.
leave as well.
oh my
Good night,
God.
guys.
Go to sleep, you guys. Good night.
Have a good night. Good night,
Actually get
chat.
some sleep. Yeah.
Good night,
Bye.
Kalinda. Good night,
Good
Dante.
night.
Bye.
1980. I also got to head out in a bit, get ready for the game.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
an interesting question that
Hmm?
just popped up in my mind right now.
Mhm.
Like Qatar is engaged in like some sort of like it's like a war almost, like ideological agenda type of war on the low key against like the neighboring Arab states and Israel. Would you say that would be the most moral way to go about a war?
What, you mean like through soft power? Because then no one
Yeah.
dies? I mean,
Even
yeah.
though, like, just to clarify, I mean, I do agree with some of the positions and the takes and positions they hold, the Qatari government and whatnot, but I don't agree necessarily with how they go about it. I'm just like laying out the proposition of this war, this form of war, soft power might be the way to go about it instead of like a kinetic.
I mean, I think that it's better, obviously, than people getting killed and invaded or whatever, in terms of that. Although, obviously, like, it's still bad. But yes, if wars were fought by like that, yes, that would be nice. Although the only unfortunate aspect of it really is getting people to believe that it's a thing that's happening, which is
Yeah, that's true.
annoying, because nobody believes it. Although I guess it really depends. I don't know. I would have to check in terms of like other countries, but like at least in America, no one believes it. And it just didn't. Yeah. And oh yeah, you're right, Van Loven. Keeping Hamas around did kill a lot of people. Although that, yeah, and obviously, so like Qatar does engage in things that result in people ending up dying. Because that they're kind of like funding stuff, and they probably want to, yeah, like they're engaging in soft power where they don't get their hands dirty.
Yeah, it's the
And
exact type of
everyone
thing where
else
the
gets their
United
hands dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, where the United States sells arms to a group or approves arms shipment to a group, and they
Yeah.
do some gnarly things, and
Yeah.
it's
If
like a
they
more
were,
old school, but type of war. I don't know.
if they were like if they were interfering in like, I don't like obviously interfering in people's elections, but if that was like the main way that they were fighting rather than like through actual, or like rather than outsourcing violence or that, then that's maybe different. But I don't know, obviously none of it is good. Like I don't,
Yeah,
the problem too is how widespread the misinformation has gotten. Like it is, I think the social media and alternative media, it's broken so much, and it sucks. Like it has people just living in two different realities, and it seems like this is something that is, this isn't just happening in America either. I mean, from what like the Israelis were saying, it seems unfortunately that there is at least some of that happening in Israel now, and obviously like in the UK, you'll go there and you'll find it. Hell, it's starting to like creep in here as well. There are definitely people here in Canada who believe that kind of stuff, and it sucks. It's
yeah,
very unfortunate. Like, then I don't know what you do about that, without potentially suppressing a bunch of free speech, and that's not a good idea. I don't know, because like I don't think that would help at this point, because then to all those people who believe that stuff, it'll just look like the government is just like silencing the truth.
yeah, exactly. That's what I
And
was gonna say. Like, if you try to combat it, you look like the villain. So it's like almost a lose-lose.
yeah, and I don't even know like what you could even do. It's unfortunate. Maybe the internet was a mistake, and maybe we'll destroy each other. I don't know. Like, I like the internet. The internet's based, but there are some parts of it that are not so much. But
I agree.
yeah,
Honestly, China's been trying to do the same thing. Like we all know this, but China's reputation, the whole communism and human rights is widely known, and it's almost like it's already accepted that China's an enemy and adversary of the United States. So that kind of soft power, it's not really working for them, but at least they're not engaging in like mass war and arming of conflicts and stuff like that.
not yet.
Yeah, and to everyone, I'm not doing apology. I'm just doing testing of the ideas, the dialectics, as they were debating the other day.
Yes, yeah, he's just curious about like, like what is morally acceptable or whatever, or like what just asking some questions. He's just asking questions, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All right,
don't
I'm
know.
gonna leave you
It's-
to it,
yeah.
and we can talk more about it next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Dante. Have a good one.
Let's go, Jays.
Yeah, let's
Bye.
go, Jays. Bye. All right, chat. It is 7 p.m. The game starts in an hour, and I am starving. So I am going to go and have me some dinar. As my cat is probably also going to. Hey, come here, buddy. Hey. Oh, never mind. He's just going to go in his house and not listen to me. He's got like a cute little cave thing that he likes to curl up in and sleep in. It's on the floor over there. And of course he's just not. Yeah. Also, it's cool that like 26 to 30 of you like stuck around for that entire conversation. Dinar, the guitar. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say dinner. Food. Yes. I have been fed. I'm going to my cave. Oh, I'm sure once I sit down in the comfy chair and I get the blanket that he really likes and put it over me, he will lay down in my lap and it'll be adorable. Yeah, thank you. I'll probably upload that too, like as a segment maybe, but yeah, at the very least, this VOD will remain visible in the Stream VODs playlist if anybody wants to look at it later or what have you. Yeah. Anyhow, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. And please subscribe if you haven't already, although I'm sure probably all of you have. And yeah, bye. And let's go, Jays.